Hey, long time no see.
I know, we miss you so much.
The band's back together.
Hold on, let me see if I can get this thing back up on here. Boop. Boop. There it is.
What is it?
Chat, Felice is going to be joining us for debates today. If you guys want to support Felice, she has a Venmo Cash App, and it is this, A Girl Has No Name, this right here at the bottom of the screen. And we're going to be going for roughly 3 hours today because I've got important business tonight, aka dinner.
Important business
with a very pretty lady. Yeah, so I haven't even read up too much on it. I've been just listening to some of the live coverage.
Same.
But it sounds like Illinois is what I've seen recently. They're like no Medicaid, no Medicare.
No, they straight up said that they weren't going to restrict Medicare or Medicaid. It was just
yeah, it's allegedly not Medicaid and Medicare. He's right. Those are the exceptions that I read in an article like 5 minutes ago.
For now, let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys. Come on.
Exactly. The shock and awe. They have to save something. It's only day 7.
I know. It's crazy.
Yo, stop spamming in the chat, my friend. Stop spamming in the chat.
This is the first one that I'm just like, okay, let's tone it down a little bit. Like, I know that we're
maybe it is Medicaid and it's not Social Security and Medicare. Let me double check that because let me double check. I have an article open on one of my phones.
Yeah.
Well, where would you go to factually? Would it be to the whitehouse.gov, or do you go to other news reporting agencies? Where's a governmental?
I guess we could read Trump's executive order. It's an executive order.
You can. I usually look up either the New York Times or the Washington Post, and then usually they have links back to the executive order.
You're in the wind, Debo.
So this is the thing is they've got to come up with a better way of streamlining information to prioritize facts before, if you're going to do sweeping motions like this, they need to be a little bit more punctual in stating the goal, the reason,
here's
and
what
they're trying to achieve.
And it says it's a memo. Okay, so yeah, Donald Trump's executive orders. Okay, yeah, it says the memo, which goes into effect Tuesday, states its orders should not be construed to affect Social Security or Medicare recipients. And so maybe Medicaid has been canceled, and that's everyone's prescriptions. That's disabled people. That's poor.
There's
people.
No fucking way they would.
Well, I'm just telling you. I'm reading. These are quotes from it. I don't know.
I apologize. I'm not trying to attack you.
Yeah, no, I got you.
There's no fucking way that they would do that.
You don't seem like a bad guy at all. It's nice to meet you. I'm Felice, by the way.
We've chatted before.
I recognize your profile. I think does not include assistance. Wait, and then it says, and also says the federal financial assistance put on hold does not include assistance provided directly to individuals. So is that Medicaid? You know what I'm saying? It's very vague to me, and I think they're leaving it vague on purpose because listen to this next paragraph. Then it says, but the document says programs affected are including. So this could literally be anything. This is not objective. Including but not limited to. So right there, anything Trump wants. Financial assistance for foreign aid, non-governmental organizations, anything DEI or woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal that never happened. So anything woke, I guess?
I think he's referring to a lot of the EV policies that they had implemented and a lot of the Green New Energy. I don't remember. They rebrand. I don't remember the name of the bill of the Green New Deal, but a lot of it had to do with the oh my God, I can't think of the name of it. It's really going to bug me. Let me look and see if I can find it. But I do know what one you're talking about. And I mean, let's just look at it, like the whole thing about the Green New Deal kind of thing. Like, what has it actually done? We're paraphrasing because we don't know the actual Biden's.
There was no real like Green New Deal, right? So that's just kind of an idea.
No, I know, but what they passed, it was like it was like a $680 billion
the Inflation
environmental. Well, that did have some of the Green New Deal in it, but yeah,
that paid for itself.
How did it pay for itself?
Because it also collected taxes and added.
Here, I got it. I got something. I've continued reading while you guys are talking, and I found something that might help Medicaid people not feel like their lives are over. Okay. It says, a person familiar with the order speaking on the condition of anonymity to describe confidential decisions confirmed the accuracy of the document and said it applied to all grants. The agency also required to submit detailed lists of projects suspended under the new order by February 10th. So by February 10th, there will be a list of what is suspended. Federal agencies must assign responsibility and oversight to tracking the federal spending to senior political appointee, not a career official, the memo states. And then the person said Medicaid would not be affected. The funding delays are going, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, this is all I'm saying. I'm just doing research on this, but there's no official list of what is affected. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, when they're going to do sweeping things like this, so there's a couple things. When they do the sweeping things, like, be very, like, you know that the media is going to ridicule you. So make a line item priority list of what you're going to go after first, and then the reasoning. Then everybody can just argue about that. But then when you just send chaos into the system, it's not helping anyone.
That's what I'm worried. So, like, when everybody talks about Doge, and then everybody brings up all of these strange arbitrary programs that do sound crazy, that like we've paid a few $1 million or $100 million,
right.
Like those are patsies. Those are patsies. So, like, they're gonna gut real programs that really hurt us.
I think. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
And those are going to be the people. People are going to be all about it, like blindly. And now you're going, whoa. Why can't we like have some insight on like this? Why can't we have some transparency? Instead, this is kind of what we saw coming. Like this, they're going to be just gutting things. They're going to be going in there, like, you know, instead of like trimming flowers with scissors, they got a chainsaw.
So the thing is, Vickles, is this isn't surprising anyone. And if it is, I'm sorry, you've been asleep at the wheel for the past 4 months. Trump said he was going to literally do this on the campaign trail.
I didn't vote for that. I
know, but I did. And I did. And what I'm saying is, someone that did vote for it is hey, guys, like, let's be, like, you're supposed to be the cabinet of transparency. Where's the transparency? So I too am now saying, hey, you know, where is it, and why are we doing this? What are we hoping to gain other than just cutting government waste, which I think everybody that's an American taxpayer would agree needs to happen. But just tell us what, who, what, where, and how, and why, I think is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be what you want. And also, like, we've had committees in Congress for ages that do our budget, and every president that comes in has been in office. They're always looking at things to cut so that they can spend that money in better ways. Always. Every time, at least Democrats, when we pass a spending bill, like, okay, we're going to cut this, or we're going to add a tax to collect money for it. Like, we've had tons of hands looking at things and weeding through things that we can cut, and to the best of my knowledge, they've had a hell of a go at it. And now Trump's got like this plan to cut 30%. Where is that going to come from? I got a feeling we've looked over these things quite a bit.
Yeah, but can we both agree there's an monstrous amount of governmental waste and spending? I mean, it is.
Yeah, but
atrocious.
not enough to justify cutting us out of the WHO and the NIH. Like, those things are so small, but so meaningful.
That is not small, Pickles. $500 billion. $500 million is, and sorry, I just got out of the dentist, so my mouth, I feel like half of my mouth doesn't move because I just got 2 cavities placed, and
That's how Tom Homan sounds when he talks. I was saying this,
and that's why I was just saying it. Like, I'm really trying to not. I didn't want to. Well, it is what it is. But
I've shown you what we spend $1.14 trillion on the military. And
I don't know. It's not that
million
much. It's 896 billion. It's not even over a trillion.
Tiny. Well,
but 500. What could you do? So they say, like, to end homelessness, it would cost like $8 billion, $8 to $20 billion, right? That's not even.
It's like 100 billion.
Is it that much now?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I haven't heard 100 billion, but
I've done some more research on this, you guys. Okay, so it's not an executive order. It is a memo that was released. It was first reported by Marissa, a local reporter, KABS. I'll send you this, Pickles. And it's a memo, and she got a hold of the memo from someone that gave it to her, and then she posted it on Blue Sky.
It is.
Yeah, and then the Washington Post picked that up because they're linking back to her. So I texted you, and if you want me to email it to you, if that's easier, I can. If you tell me.
So wait a minute, this isn't even an executive order. This is
I don't think so.
Memo.
It's a memo because they don't have the list of things. That's the point. He's saying, hey, by February 10th, like, we need to know, like, a list. It's an instruction to federal workers of basically, like, letting them all know, like, this is happening. We're cutting all these things, and people need to give us a list of all the things that are being cut officially by this day, kind of thing.
I
gave Pickles a list of the memo. If you guys want to look up on Blue Sky, her name's Marissa, Marisa Kabas, like Kabas. It's at marissakabas.bsky.social.
So are you saying?
And it says per copy of the memo, the use of federal the use of federal resources to advance Marxist equity, transgenderism, and Green New Deal social engineering policies is a waste of taxpayer dollars that does not improve the day-to-day lives of those we serve. He does not know what Marxism. What a fool! Learn what words mean.
I really want to know. So, like, I've heard on repeated lives that this is going into effect today at 5:00. So how is that going to happen if this is only a memo?
Susan, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much.
Memorandum for the heads of executive departments and agencies. I mean, I'm not saying they can't. It's from the Office of Management.
I understand.
Well, I'll say this. Like, let me put it this way. It's from the Office of Management and Budget. Like, Congress allocates money, and then the Office of Management and Budget is in the executive branch under Trump, and they decide how best to allocate that money. So they're saying, we're freezing this money. They can do that. Like, I mean, that's what the Office of Management and Budget does. Typically, that's like data scientists, people doing statistical analysis to say, like, this is what Congress wants this money to be spent on. Now we decide how best to do that. Right,
but they can't do that by government memo fiat. Like, that's not how it works.
Well, tell that to Trump. Like, this is what Trump has said.
No, I'm not.
Well, let me just finish though. This is what you said. You said, hey, I voted for this, and like, this is why are you guys surprised? I agree with you on that, because what Trump has said is and what I have read a lot of Project 25, and I've listened to every speech Trump's given, but more importantly, the man who's nominated to lead the Office of Management and Budget, who wrote the chapter on consolidating power in the executive branch, Russ Vought. Like, I've read all his psychotic Christian nationalist teachings, and what they have said is, chase us through the courts. We're going to do whatever we want. If you don't like it, the only way you can stop us is through the courts. So that's what he's saying. He's like, oh, if you're saying that, he's done a lot of things that are unconstitutional, and he's just saying, file a lawsuit.
birthright citizen removing.
Yeah.
Trying,
I mean, exactly, right? And that's what he's saying. He's like, if you don't like what I'm doing, chase me with lawsuits in the courts. I'm going to do it anyways.
But I think that the thing that he's trying to achieve by removing birthright citizen is the so-called anchor babies. I'm not saying that I agree with any of this. So before everybody jumps down my throat, I'm just saying this is my point of view of why I think he's doing it, is because there are people that are coming here that are just having babies just to then therefore their baby being a citizen. That is not initially what birthright citizen was intended to do.
Wong KR, the Supreme Court decision, that's exactly what they decided. Do you understand the Supreme Court decision that decided a birthright citizenship? That's quite literally exactly what they said. If you are born on U.S. soil, just solely versus, it's about location versus heritage versus hereditary birthright. That's exactly what they said. Parents of people of citizens of the Republic of China. That's what the original case was about. It was about people who were citizens of the Republic of China.
It was also
and
Indian
his child
Americans.
was born in the U.S. No, I'm talking about the Supreme Court case that decided this.
I know there's been several.
And that is what they decided. No, the real Supreme Court decision.
Which one? The one in 1913,
no, 1897,
and 23.
Here, I'll look here. It's Wong.
There's five.
The Wong Ark case.
There's five. I know, but I'm saying the original intent.
Wong Ark Kim. United States versus Wong Kim Ark.
There was one for Native Americans.
March
there was
5th,
one for the Chinese.
Decided 1898. Facts of the case. The Chinese Exclusion Act denied citizenship to Chinese immigrants. Moreover, by treaty, no Chinese subject in the United States could become a naturalized citizen. Wong Kim Ark was born in San Francisco to parents who were born Chinese citizens who resided in the United States at the time. At age 21, he returned to China to visit his parents who had previously resided in the United States for 20 years. When he returned to the United States, Wong was denied entry on the ground that he was not a citizen. And they ruled in his favor. Conclusion, because Wong was born in the United States and his parents were not employed in any diplomatic or official capacity under the Emperor of China, the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment automatically makes him a U.S. citizen. Justice Horace Gray authored the opinion on behalf of a 6-2 majority. The citizenship of children born in the United States to non-citizens. Justice Joseph McKenna took no part. Yeah. That's the opposition.
So the
McKenna
difference.
Opposed.
So this is what I've heard them talk about, and this is in contrast of what you just said. The difference between that case and what's happening today is those people that were already here for X amount of time. Trump is saying that is being abused in our current asylum seeking or immigration system, because there are people that are just coming here and having children that haven't gone through any kind of documentation, sought out any legal immigration documentation, and therefore their cases of birthright is what is being exploited by our current immigration system. That is what they're trying to get the root cause. I said that in a very...
So this is what I would argue. This is what I argue all day and night. What is the actual problem we're solving? Like, he's giving you ways to be upset and like invoke like some sort of like feeling of jealousy or fear or like being treated like unwell by migrants or being taken advantage of. Where's the actual harm? What's the net negative? And there really isn't any. There really isn't any.
I agree with you on a mass scale. For the overarching sake of the argument, I agree with you, Pickles.
Yeah, so we're spending so much.
There are only positives to the U.S. economy. We're talking about people paying into Social Security and Medicare. We're talking about only net positives to the economy.
This is what
the only argument is, hey, we want to kick out brown and black people from this country. I don't think that's a fair argument. So here, let me tell you what I hear constantly, and this is also my main. So
America is the only country in the entire world that allows 2 million people, whether they're a refugee, whether it's through immigration, it doesn't matter. We are the only country that lets in 2 million people a year into their country.
Okay,
That's
you
very
have to
wrong.
know
That
that
is
you
not-
have to. Hey, you have to know that you just said a lie, right? You
Yeah.
know that that's completely false.
What other
you
country
have to
does it?
understand that Trump is a massive liar. What do you mean? The entire Americas has birthright citizenship.
Name.
Are you joking? Hey,
no, no, no. You're
I need to help
conflating
you
what
'cause
I'm
wait,
saying.
I'm getting
And
very
let's-
annoyed. What do you mean?
Don't get annoyed.
Okay, well then let's look at the actual percentage of population, right? That's how immigration terms work, right? You're saying we're a much bigger country who that's how immigration treaties work. Do you understand that? Like the entire immigration treaties work. It's an agreement between countries.
Let's
right?
Google
And
it.
there are
Let's
quotas.
do this live.
Hey, no,
Let's
I
do
can
this
tell you
live.
there are immigration quotas per country.
There's countries that
And
advertise to pull in immigration, and there's countries that have
Correct.
30 to 40% migrants. And we have 2%.
And what are the
It's not
size of
even
those
close.
countries?
Have some of the lowest percentage of immigration. You know who has the only country with lower is China.
Weird.
Yeah, because they like pure birth line. Yeah, they
No,
are
it's because
very
they have
disturbed. No, it's
1.4
true.
billion people
No,
in their
that's
country.
not why.
And
that
less
is
than
not
2
why.
decades ago, they
Sir,
only
sir,
had a
that's
one.
not why.
They only had
That's
a
not
one
why.
child. Let me
Yes.
speak, but you guys are conflating what I'm saying.
We're making the same
by
mistake.
saying no. But listen, just look up what other country allows. What other country allows 2 million immigrants into their country?
Okay,
Whether it's through refugee status. Hold on.
It's
Whether
not
through-
about the number. It's about the percent.
It isn't.
It's about the quotas, right? Compared
Okay,
to
but
population
we're
and
the
available
third
size.
largest. We're the third largest population, third or fourth largest population.
No, we're not.
No, we're not
What are
even
you
close.
talking about? God,
So it's China,
you just
India.
say words.
No. What? I'm not saying words. If I'm wrong, then correct me with some actual stats.
That's not how debate works. You have to provide sources. It's not our job to catch all of the
I don't
lies
have a
you're
computer
making up.
screen. Look,
I
don't
know
have a
it.
computer
Yeah, I know.
screen
You're
where
in
you
a
guys
wind
can
tunnel.
fact
We're
check
number
me.
38.
No, I'm not.
We're
Number 38.
38. So again, you just made up a wild lie, and then it's our job just
It's
to be
not
like,
a wild
"Sir,
lie."
We're 38. You said we were the top 3 or 4 in population. Like, welcome to reality.
Like the whole dynamic of your point is the opposite of true. It's we have 2% of our population is migrants. We have 350 million people, and like you can compare that to every other country that has birthright citizenship and all that stuff. I bet they have even more migrants than us. Like every country in the Americas
By
has
percentage of population.
Yeah, it has
That's
birthright
correct.
citizenship. They have asylum laws just like we do. They're signatories on the same asylum thing that we're on, most of them. Like nothing special about this. We've just been politicized to hate these people or to be upset. And no one's been able to put their finger on the actual problem. that
I
I've
wish.
talked to.
I literally just Googled what is the U.S. population ranked globally. It says we are number 3. China is number 1. India is number 2. The United States is number 3. I literally just Googled it.
We talking about immigration by percentage of population?
No, that is not what I said. I said we are the third largest
Okay, but-
population
no,
on the planet. That is what I said, and you guys sit here and call me a
Okay.
fucking liar. And
Okay,
it's not
can
true.
I? But
That is
again,
literally, we are number
I just
3.
need to again.
I didn't
when we
say
talk
anything
about
about
immigration,
immigration.
yes,
See,
yes, you
dude,
did.
this
You
is-
said we took 2 million immigrants, and the point we're making is it goes how you compare. Like the point.
No.
Wait, let me
No.
just finish my point. What you're saying is, hey, I feel, and that's what you're saying. Really, you should all your statements.
Not
you
true.
should say I feel, and what you're saying is I feel like the United States taking in 2 million immigrants. That's way too many. And what
That is
we're
not
saying,
what I fucking said.
okay, that's what you said.
Jesus
and
Christ!
anyways,
not
and
only
what
are you
we're
lying
saying is,
blatantly,
well,
you're
that's
saying
what you
the
said.
facts that I stated
You said
aren't
we
actual
took in
facts.
2 million
I
immigrants.
literally Googled.
Okay.
No, You didn't
Again-
even let me finish my point
Okay,
about
again,
the 2
and
million
I
immigrants.
did not finish. So again, my point is when you talk about who's taking in more immigrants and how immigration quotas work, and they are treaties we make with other countries, right, that we work in conjunction with when there's immigration crises or wars in countries, things of that nature, right? It works on percentage of population. And by percentage of population, we have some of the lowest acceptance of immigrants in the world. So
So-
if you, what I'm trying to reassure you,
Christ.
if you're concerned that migrants are taking over, it's
I didn't
mathematically
fucking say
okay.
that. Quit
I'm
trying
just
to
telling
make
you,
me sound like a racist bigot. That's
it's
fucking
mathematically
atrocious.
untrue. Well,
Well, it's
migrants
not-
can be white, so
First of all, that's not what I said.
migrants
Second
can
of
be
all,
white, so it's
and
not
that's
about
fine.
race.
I don't care what their skin color is. I
Okay,
can give
that's
a
what I'm
fuck
saying.
about their
I
skin
didn't say
color.
that. Migrants have. I don't know what you're saying, sir. I'm saying
Because you haven't
by
let me land a
percentage
single
of
point of what I'm trying to
population,
make.
we take in some of the fewest immigrants in the world. So don't worry.
First of all, my blanket statement was the United States is the third largest population. That had nothing to do with the amount of migration, immigrants or
Kept saying
refugees.
2
that we-
million. You said
Listen
2
hold
million
on.
over and over.
Let me make my point. I didn't interrupt you. So when I
Yes, you did over and over.
when you lie and say things that I didn't say, I'm going to fucking interrupt you, and you should do the same to me. And then let's clarify, and that's exactly what I'm attempting to do. So first of all, I said the United States is the third largest country in population. I didn't reference to that to immigration even one little bit. I said nothing about that.
I wanna
All I
concede.
was making the point.
I want to concede. You're
All-
right.
Thank
You're right
you.
on population.
Thank you. And then you guys sit here and call me a fucking liar, and then I'm making shit up. That's why I'm now a little elevated. I've been so this is
I was
is
talking
why
about
this
the
is,
2 million immigrant
but
number.
you're making a point about another point that has nothing to do with my original statement, and that's how shit gets sideways.
Did
on
you not
TikTok.
say before the population thing, we take in 2 million immigrants? And I was putting that in mathematical context.
Okay, listen to what I am trying to say. Please, just give me 30 seconds and I'll make my point. What I was referring to is the amount of people that we have currently living in this country is 340 million. That makes us number 3 in the world. We then take 2 million legal immigrants, refugees throughout. I'm not comparing that by the other countries. China doesn't even allow people into their country.
They do.
So that takes, it's, you just,
They
my
do.
God. Oh my God.
Well, it's like
You just-
1 point something percent of their country is immigrants. Just like
You
they
just
do
said
allow
that China
immigrants.
doesn't allow.
No, I did not. I said they
Oh
allow a
my
low
God.
percentage. You're not
Okay.
listening when I'm speaking. I'm talking about mathematical context. You're making statements.
Okay.
Like I said they allow
That's-
one of the lowest
all
percentages
right.
of immigration in their country.
and then I went on to say that they only have single.
No, can I just
and,
tell
like,
you why I say that? 'Cause
anybody in the chat
I
knows.
talk about statistical analysis. So let me share with you why I say that and how it's hurting China. What's actually happening is they have they don't have enough working age adults, right?
Right.
Do you know where
Yeah.
the most working age adults will be by 2040? Africa. And that's why China is experiencing a birth crisis, right?
Correct.
America's experiencing a birth crisis. Japan,
Correct.
everywhere in the developed world, we are experiencing a crisis of no one's having babies.
Except
We
the
are
Middle
wait,
East.
hold on. I'm not.
Except the
So I
Middle
just
East.
want to point out that you're continuing to interrupt me. So next time I interrupt you, don't scream at me. So anyway,
Well, you're saying all over the world, and that's not true.
you're interrupting me, sir.
You're saying it's all over the world, and
again,
it's not true.
Again, I did
So
not
you're
say
making-
that. So again,
Oh,
let me
hold on.
finish speaking. Again, let me finish speaking. So what I said was, in the developed world, right, we are experiencing rapid population decline in the developed world. And so it was previously thought that economies, right, like gross GDP, as much as people could afford to have babies, they would. And what we now know is that there are psychosocial effects that are affecting particularly countries who, let's say in gross GDP, are quite successful, but are in rapid population decline. I would wager because of the stress of late stage capitalism, but that's another story.
Oh,
So where the most most working age adults will be by 2040 is the continent of Africa. And by denying the only way, if population decline continues in the developed world, to supplement our economies with workers and continue having the number one gross domestic product will be immigration. If you understand statistical analysis, we are biting off our nose to spite our face. It is third world countries that are still producing children and will have able-bodied workers in the future. So what we're saying is, by being paranoid weirdos who can't do math and are like, too many weirdos are being let in this country, we're actually saying, hey, let's crash our economy. It makes no sense.
Okay, let me, in Pickles, this is your live. I don't want to take up all of your, but this is the exact same argument that the Confederates used to entrap slavery. They used, hold on. This is the exact same argument, but they were saying our economy will crash. If you remove all of these slaves, we're not going to who's going to take these jobs? Who's going to do these jobs that nobody wants to do, or pick cotton, for example?
Okay. All right, chill.
Okay.
Hold on. This is
the same
totally
argument.
Different. It's a little bit different of a dynamic because this is mutually beneficial to
You're talking about enslaving people. Okay, I know you can't follow a line of logic.
Slavery
Let me
at
help you.
$4 an hour is
I'm going to help
modern-day
you. I'm going to help you
slavery,
out.
my dear.
Now you're talking about undocumented immigrants and what they are paid. I agree. The immigration system is broken. There needs to be work visas, and we need to pay undocumented workers more. But that's another debate. The line of logic is broken. You have broken. I just want listen. You have completely broken. You have completely broken the line of logic.
Which ones of those are being deported? How many of those people have been deported?
Let me help you out. So I'm going to help you out where you fell off the line of logic. Sir.
How many of those people have been deported?
Okay, again, I can't answer your question if you continue screaming at me. So, and when I'm talking, just receive it. I'm not trying to fight you. The line of logic we are on is about immigration and legal immigration, right? Legally letting people come here for work visas and naturalized immigration. That is legal.
Can I respond to that point, please?
Now you broke the line of logic. Now you're talking about enslaving people in the past, and then no. Wait, I'm not finished. Let me finish, and then you can talk.
Then don't conflate my argument.
And then you broke that line of logic, and then you started talking about undocumented labor in this country. None of those have anything to do with the line of logic we're on.
I said, in the very beginning, I said most of what Trump, like he was out on the campaign trail saying he was going to do what he's doing. Literally right now, we all agreed, yes, he did do that. Then I went in to say that we have the most we allow 2 million people into this country every single year. There's not very many other countries that are the size of America that do that. That was my only simple point. Now, what I'm saying, the way that we go about doing that correctly is that we don't just open the floodgates of our border, not vetting people. All the while during a global pandemic, there were people that were coming into this country that we didn't even know who they were. They were leaving all of their documents at the border as they were instructed to by all the NGOs that were telling them how to get into this country. That is a massive problem. We have an influx.
Cite a source. And again, this has nothing to do with the statistical analysis we're doing on labor, on legal immigration.
Came into this country in the past 4 years.
You're not on the subject.
This is a blanket. This is my opinion. It's a blanket.
Random statements, not on the line of logic.
It's not random. It all conflates into the same problem that you're negating to address.
We were talking about legal immigration.
Hold on. I'm almost done. What I'm saying is when you're allowing all of these people into this country and you're threatening their livelihood by removing their job because they're not going to go get the jab, and then you're letting people into this country that we don't know who they are, we don't know where they've been, that we have no idea who they are, and we already have a housing crisis.
Do we know who they are?
We cannot take care of our own fucking citizens, and we're allowing people to flood into the country.
Okay, stop,
That
stop, stop,
is
stop.
a problem.
In your opinion.
Stop.
No,
Okay.
it's a...
Stop.
That is why Trump
I want
won.
you. No, he won because he's saying what you
No.
said, and you're straw manning the fuck out of our immigration system. We do check people. Nothing has changed since Trump left the first time. We have the same migration laws. We have the same border security things besides Title 42 and fucking remaining Mexico. We have done background checks. We check everybody we encounter at the border, just like before. All 12 million people on that statistic you guys talk about all the time. Those have all been checked. The only people we don't know about are the 1.5 million estimated gotaways. Here's the other side of that coin. What Trump is going to do to our economy, trying to fix this because of how much fear mongering he's done. We're going to see a loss of 4.2% to 6.8% of annual US GDP. And to put that into perspective, that's the same exact percent of negative GDP we saw during the Great Depression. So you're
Can I
fixing a
respond to
problem we
that?
don't have. Yes.
Can I respond to
So
that?
all of your feelings have just been proven incorrect.
So this is why this is happening. Trump has said we're going to go after the criminals. Then you guys sit there and say, "Oh, look, they're going to the schools, they're going to the churches." You guys are the ones
You're
that are
again
pressing.
off the line of logic.
Excuse me, hold on. I'm responding to his statement. What I'm saying is he has blatantly said we are going after the criminals. We are going after the people that want to do Americans harm. They're going after. They have caught the traffickers, the predators, the murderers, all of those people are the ones that they have locked up. He's not going to the meat packing facilities, packing all these people into a bus and arresting everyone with brown skin.
Do me a favor.
That is not fucking happening. Hold
Do me
on.
a favor, volume.
You guys are the ones
Volume.
that are propagating
You're
Volume.
the
screaming.
bullshit.
Volume.
You're going to
Sorry.
have a stroke.
You guys are the ones that are propagating the fear mongering. We are just saying we want the criminals apprehended. We want the bad people out of our country. We're not saying we're going to go after everybody that has come here in the eight years, but we have to have security. There are people here that wish us harm. If you guys would like to know some sources of that, I would suggest you go to listen to the Sean Ryan show. They've caught 400.
I can't. Sir, okay, you've stated a lot of feelings. Now let's go back to facts. Like
Those
can we
are all
please-
facts.
Can we
That's
go
what he
back to
said.
facts? Can
Dear,
we okay,
that's what he said.
let's go back to facts. So it is a fact that no immigration laws have changed, right? They haven't
Agreed.
changed. So all of
Agreed.
your emotional statement about people are pouring in, all that was happening under Trump. And I'll just tell you this because I also know facts and I could give you resources where you could find facts about immigration. Everything that Trump is doing now, everything, the daily ICE raids, but what the difference is he has Dr. Phil and a Fox camera following people around. I'm here to let you know that you can look this up, right? The data is available
I've
to
seen
you.
them.
Oh, you're
I've seen
interrupting
them.
me again. The data is available to you. I'm not talking about Fox following people with a camera. That's anecdotal, your feelings, right? The average, wait, not done. The average daily ICE arrests, right, during the Biden administration was 308. That's an average. There were wide swings. There's some day there was 1,000. There's some day there was less. The average was 308. Trump is still well under the average of who Biden was arresting a day. Everything that Trump is doing now are normal daily ICE operations. All he's doing is taking pictures of people and posting them on the internet and saying, "Oh, look, we arrested this guy," or, "Oh, look, this flight is leaving the state." All of these ICE deportation flights are completely normal. Trump's just making a spectacle about
Yeah.
it to make you think that something different is happening.
Also-
this is normal ICE operations.
Besides
Surprise.
the fact that the flights are costing $250,000 rather than like $9 because he's using military planes for
I know.
some reason.
Yeah, right. And what that is, who knows? And you know
Thank
what?
you for the presents.
So
Sure,
so
Doge has something to say about that.
you literally just landed the plane on exactly what I'm talking about. Biden
Sir,
was
you
already-
have not made a cogent point yet. I like
Okay,
you.
that's your
I actually
opinion.
like
That's
you,
fine.
but sir, you've actually not brought one fact to this.
Biden was already doing these exact same numbers, right? You just made this claim. Biden is already doing those same numbers.
These are
So
what
then-
I said. Yes,
So,
I no. I
okay,
wait. I'm
all
not
right.
done. I'm not done. What I said was because you listen, you half listen, and you get the actual facts wrong. What I said was that during the Biden administration, he averaged 304 ICE arrests a day. That was the average. You have to understand the average between whatever
I get
number
that.
Trump's arresting, right? So what I'm saying is, as of now, nobody has ever deported more people than Joe Biden.
It was Barack Obama. It was
No,
like 5.8
no.
million.
Okay, but again, if you look up the data, no, Joe Biden has done more. He just did it quietly, right? Because the base didn't want to know. That's the same thing Barack Obama was doing, quietly deporting people from this country. Moderate Democrats love to deport people quietly. They just don't make a spectacle because they won't get votes. But again, I just want to make one more point. When you were yelling about your feelings of people are pouring in, Pickles is right. None of the immigration laws have changed, right? Under Trump, they're the exact same under Biden. And what we know is the height of your fears was December 2023. That's when we were averaging the 7-day rolling average was like 8,500 encounters at the southern border. That was the height of what your fears are. And we know that when Joe Biden was leaving office in December 2024, right, this December that just happened, 1 year later, encounters were reduced by 75%. And most importantly, and you can look this up, there were fewer encounters than there were when Trump left office. And I'm saying this to make you feel better. If you think people are sneaking around, Joe Biden left our immigration situation at the southern border statistically with numbers, not with feelings and the lies being told by Fox, in a better position than Trump left it. Those are actual facts.
Okay, so let me make my point. My point is, if Trump is doing the exact same thing in fewer numbers, let's just even say that if Trump is doing, who is the fearmonger? Is it Trump?
Yeah.
Is Trump the one that's out there fear-mongering? If he's doing lower numbers, then what are you guys so worried
Who
about?
could it be? I don't know.
I'm asking you.
If
If he's doing less, then why do you guys fucking care? This is a horrible stat for you to sit here and say. If Trump isn't doing as much as Biden was doing, then why is Orange Man bad, the deporting chief in office? It makes zero sense to me.
Because all of the mechanisms we use to deport people is all he has, and anything over and above, like using the military and using weird state agencies to
leg shackles, arm shackles in military.
These are
planes.
rapists and murderers.
They are not.
No. They can pull one or two out and be like, look how bad this guy is. Everyone's this bad. When it's really a plane of 80 people and 20 of them are grandmas and shit. This is not real. And we won't get a list of these people's names because it's not public information.
Can I just clarify? There are ICE flights which have seats on normal planes, right? And I'll look up the numbers right now because I have those too for you. Oh my God, I think I'm right here on the page. I'll find them in 1 second. The actual cost of the ICE flights versus the military flights, I have those written down. But what I was going to say was when we deport who you're talking about, the real criminals, there are ICE flights where people are handcuffed to their chairs, right? These are not, and then there are deportation flights where there are just, hey, these are people we found in the interior and they're returned to their countries with dignity. That's Trump has a big mischaracterization, like that disaster with Colombia. Trump can't even spell the name of the country. But the point is the president of Colombia was never saying, hey, I won't take ICE flights. He was saying the opposite. He was saying, I have taken every ICE flight you guys have ever sent to our airspace. All I'm asking is that you return people with dignity, not in military planes. And if you need to understand why that's very offensive to South America, you have to read a book on 20th century Latin American history and what the U.S. has done in South America. It is very upsetting to have military planes in South American airspace because we have a long history of coups.
Okay, that makes sense. And
Especially with Trump.
when did Trump try
He
to
did a coup
pursue
in Venezuela during his first term. He had a failed coup. He's one of the only, we are coup experts, and Trump failed a coup in Venezuela. Maduro, that's why Maduro's in still
Maduro.
office. Yeah, Trump tried
and they were,
to.
and they had hyperinflation and all the horrible shit, and then they created more mass migration to America.
This is my
I know,
point. So
yeah.
well, so
it's not good.
I
It's
completely
not
agree.
good.
So let me just say this. If we don't want, like you're saying, I don't want people pouring in over the southern border. What I think MAGA really needs to study is our history and why they're there. They're at the southern border because of us. Every time Trump says what he did to Colombia, okay, I'm going to tariff you, I'm going to sanction you. What happens is those economies are turned off, right? Their currency is devalued. People start starving and they head north. If we want to encourage people to stay in their countries, what we have to do is make it a place economically viable for them to live. Every time Trump is doing this, most of our immigration is coming from Cuba and Venezuela. Why? We turned off their economies, right? What is the number one driver of crime? Poverty. So when we do that to a country, right, they dive into poverty, here comes crime, and they flee to the southern border.
Right. And that's why they had made Kamala Harris the border czar. It was because, and then she went to, I believe it was Guatemala, and was saying we need to figure out the root cause of mass migration, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Guatemala, Ecuador, and El Salvador.
Right. No, I'm not just a fucking shill for Donald Trump. So like, I don't know.
Against my better judgment, I like you.
I don't know that. Thank you for the backhanded compliment. I appreciate that.
So good at them.
But no, this is what I think needs to happen. Would make things way more functional for not only the American population but the political sphere of America that is so fucking broken that we don't ever come up with like solutions. We just bark at the moon at all of the horrible shit that's actually happening instead of like coming up with a solution. Instead of just bitching about everything all the time. Yeah. I agree, and that's why I like listening to you all the time. Join us.
Let's find solutions.
I'm here. I talk to Pickles all the time, like twice a week.
That's my biggest grievance with the way the right-wing media
all media, bro.
Well, the right-wing media especially does like unconstructive, very harmful messaging.
You're gonna
get people like this deportation thing, right? We could easily figure out how to embrace these people and make sure that we get everything we want out of it, and everything we don't want is weeded out. So like criminals, whatever, coming into the country, we could make it so easy for people to come in and get citizenship and pass a background check.
Give them a visa, a green card.
Implemented into our country and into our economy in the best way possible. Or we could spend a lot of money virtue signaling and kicking these people out, ruining their lives, ruining our own economy. Like, this is not the fix.
But that's not happening on mass scale, and this is what I'm trying to...
This is what
I know, but you guys are out here doing the same fucking thing that the media does, is that you're fear mongering. You're sitting here saying,
I've given you all facts.
Hold on. It doesn't matter whether they're facts or not. What I'm saying is that you guys are, you're out here saying that Trump is doing less, but you're barking out louder about how it's worse that Trump's doing it than Biden. And this is the hypocrisy of politics, is what's driving everyone to fucking resent each other and pick a side. And then orange man bad, decrepit old fool that didn't even wake up before noon or whatever the fuck it was. It's all meaningless.
No.
You literally said facts don't matter, and I take a big issue. The facts do matter.
I'm not
the truth
saying
matters.
I'm not saying that it doesn't.
You just yelled that.
No. What I said is everybody isn't paying attention to the facts. They're looking at orange man bad and the decrepit old man. That's what I said. So what I'm saying is
fact is focus. He will be the oldest president in U.S. history.
Great.
That is a fact.
He's done more in 8 days than Biden did in 4 years.
No, he hasn't.
Well, I would disagree with you.
No, again, that's your feeling.
It is, and that's my opinion. I can have my opinion, and it doesn't have to be a factual. There's no opinion that is actually based on facts.
But debates are people usually yelling their feelings. That's what I'm trying to get.
And I'm not. I'm stating that I think that we are doing more now for the American people, putting America first. Trump has put the American people first more than Joe Biden did in the last 4 years.
That is a bumper sticker. That is not real.
Well, that's great. We're gonna find out really soon.
He's raised more hell. He's made more news. Like he's made the news more. But the thing
he's also been on the news more.
Okay, he's not good at what he's doing. These things are not good. Like you can't name a thing that's been positive, can you?
Biden couldn't even do a news conference, a press conference, without having cards pull on. Listen to me, Pickles, and you know this is true. He could not even literally call on an own reporter from his own brain. He had to do it from a card.
Okay, can I again speak? Can I answer that question?
Repeatedly, we saw
delusional. This is a delusional thing to say. So I will answer that. Let me help you because I come from I used to be a teacher, but I also come from the tech industry. I used to work in advertising and marketing. So let me help you with how you're being fooled by the media, sir. Every press conference Trump has, he handpicks reporters. The questions are he knows the questions in advance and they are fed to him. The fact that you do not know that concerns me, right? Those are orchestrated press conferences. If any reporter that fact checks Trump in real time is never allowed in his presence again. Right. This was widely reported on during the election.
He let the dude from CNN. What's his name?
This was widely and wait, but I want to get in. I don't want to debate. What's his name? Like what I'm telling you.
What's his name? No, the other guy.
Mike Acosta.
Yeah, Jim Acosta was he was in there.
Sorry, I don't know why I said Mike.
But I'm just saying he was literally in there. Like if what you're saying is true,
well, okay,
Trump hold on. No, I'm not. I'm going to make a point to what you're saying.
What you're saying? One press conference, Jim Acosta was president.
I'm saying they pulled in Trump's first term. They pulled his press card during Trump's first presidency.
Yeah, and that's when it started. That's when it started. I'm agreeing with you. Right? In his first term, Trump realized never again, right? Trump realized never again. Trump made people leading up to the election sign things that said he wouldn't be fact checked. The agreement he makes with press is you can fact check me after the interview or after the press conference, but not during. That's the agreement. And that's why, I don't know if you saw when Trump was at that National Association of Black Journalists in Chicago, right? He was saying like, oh, we were late because their stupid sound system didn't work when he got on the stage. And reporters were tweeting, right, and saying that's a lie. What was going on behind the stage were ABC reporters, right? Rachel Scott, she's a black journalist. She was there and she was refusing to not fact check him live. And they went out there and she fact checked the shit out of him. And that is one of the reasons that and the reason he calls George Slopadopoulos, because of that interview with Nancy Mace, that is why he hated ABC News. Right? Because Trump is I agree with you. Trump's a showman. Listen, I'll tell you this.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just agree with you. Trump is a performer, but it's a facade. And I'll tell you this. But Joe Biden, I know what Joe Biden did. I know what the numbers say. Joe Biden recovered from the pandemic the best in the G7. No one did it better. Biden is handing the best economy, one of the best economies in U.S. history.
Please stop.
No. Listen,
oh my God.
That is a fact, and we can prove it to you. If you don't know that, if you're not aware of that, that's another story. But it's absolutely factual.
You're piling on so many things.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you facts. So again, that is a fact. Biden has handed one of the strongest economies in U.S. history to Donald Trump. So I agree with you. Well, let me just wrap it up. I'm going to just land the plane. My statement is that yes, Biden is not a performer. He delivered, right? The numbers, the actual data. Hey, you can laugh all you want. You're just incorrect. You're just making yourself look dumb. You've been wrong about everything you said.
All right.
Believe me, I never make statements. Sir, I never make statements I can't back up.
Wrong about
sir,
that.
I never. Oh my God, he's back to that. Sir, I never make statements I can't back up.
So that would make you incorrect. And
okay, again, I was talking about percentage of immigration compared to population. I didn't even know. But
see,
again,
you're conflating.
But
once
again,
this
I
is what you
concede
guys
that we are
do.
third in world population. No, I'm not. I'm
But
telling
you
you
said
what
that
I was
was a
talking
straight up
about.
lie.
No,
we were
I
39th.
was, sir. You were yelling
That
that
is what
2
you
million
said,
immigrants
Elise.
was a lot. No,
Let's be
you were
honest with
yelling
each other here.
Okay, again, I was stating percentage of immigration by population is not high, and I was saying that's how immigration quotas
Let's not.
around the world are met. You were just saying
Let's not rebuttal
we
what
take
was
in
already
too
been.
many immigrants. And I was mathematically showing you that that's not true.
Elise, that's not even what I said.
Okay,
said
so
we
I
take
don't
in
want to
2
go
million.
back. Sir, anyways,
But
do you want to talk about the
conflating
economy?
so many things. Yeah.
No, you don't know what the word conflating means, so I wouldn't say it.
So Joe Biden leaving us the best in the best economy. We are
And one of the best economies in U.S. history. One of the best economies in U.S.
didn't interrupt
history.
you.
So, no, again, I'm not going to let you misquote me.
I'm not. You said Joe Biden.
Said Joe Biden has left Donald Trump one of the best economies in U.S. history.
He has let us. We have 5 months to come up with $9 trillion in short-term funding that Joe Biden presidency left Donald Trump in his lap. Okay, first of all, that is rule number one. And what he did to create that is he crushed the T-bills market, which made all of the huge financial bank system from 2 years ago collapse. It was bigger than 2008. We had more banks go into debt. There's $500 billion that banks are sitting right now in unrealized, and they don't know how to get rid of this debt. I'm glad that you think that that's funny.
Okay, do you want to talk about free market
No.
capitalism?
So,
are you saying that the U.S. government needs to bail out banks?
Excuse me.
Are you saying the U.S. government needs to bail
Joe
out
Biden
banks?
already did
or are
that.
you into free market capitalism? No, I'm saying, what are you saying? What are you saying? You're saying that private corporations mismanage
Jesus Christ,
money?
I can't even make my point for you to argue before you interrupt me.
Yeah, you're talking about private corporations, not the U.S. economy. We're talking about the U.S. economy. Every time I make a point, you break the line of logic. You are breaking the line of logic.
I'm trying to make points of how Joe Biden temporarily boosted up our economy and the ways that is going to cripple our future economy. And he did it by manipulating job numbers. There were 891,000 jobs that Joe Biden manipulated.
Oh, I can help you with that. That's misinformation. I can cite sources to prove that's not true. And I can tell you how the U.S. Bureau of Labor does job statistics. That's another lie told by Trump. You are fed lies constantly by Donald Trump, and you believe everything he says. Job adjustments happen. Do you understand how job numbers are done?
Yeah,
They're always adjusted. Do you know one of the largest adjustments ever in history was under Donald Trump? The same exact thing. Yeah. So you do know that jobs are adjusted after the fact. Jobs are adjusted after the fact. With every president, and one of the biggest month-over-month adjustments. No, because you're making
everybody in the chat,
sir, you're not intellectually stimulating in any way. And when I get bored, yeah, I do. And you start spewing things that are misinformation.
Don't allow me to respond to what you're saying about him leaving.
You're not responding to what I'm saying.
I am. You're not even letting me finish my comment. So by doing all of those just in the Treasury bills alone, it collapsed all the banks that had money in T-bills. And so then overnight they're like, oh shit. And then Joe Biden fired the banking I can't remember the name of the thing right now because my fucking head is spinning, but you sit here and say Joe Biden created more governmental jobs than Barack Obama did in his presidency. In 4 years Biden did that. That is why you're having such a huge pushback on Trump holding all of this federal aid to all the countries, because we have flooded the market with a bunch of bullshit that is government waste.
Can you cite a source? Can you cite a source?
About like what?
What you just said. You're saying the banks collapsed under Joe Biden. You're saying similar to 2008, the banks collapsed. Can you prove that?
Forbes has a very, here, let me go. Yeah, I'll get you the source. Can I put it in the comments, or do you want me to just read you the
No,
article?
Jesse, yeah. Here, are you talking about March?
I'm at what?
Well, are you talking about when like the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, like, for
Correct.
instance?
That's
okay,
one
but
of the
that
big
was
ones.
one bank. Do you understand that to compare
Okay,
that to the
I'm asking
2008
Pickles,
financial
do you want
collapse
the
is
source?
delusional?
Do you
So
want
you're
the
saying
site?
one bank
Jesus
collapsed.
Christ, let me.
Bro, Trump had 4 banks collapse under his presidency. So
I know he did. I know.
No, you don't know.
I do. Here, I'll get you.
Again, there was no collapse compared to what happened in 2008, the mortgage collapse. That's delusional to say there was. And again, I just want to be clear. That Silicon Valley Bank, that is their fault, right? And I just want to say, if you're worried about banks collapsing, because this is something I'm passionate about, that's a progressive issue, right? Do you know who lobbies in Congress?
What made those
wait,
banks
let me
fail?
finish. Let me finish.
If you're so
Wait,
knowledgeable.
I'm not done. Let me finish and I'll tell you. Do you know who lobbies in Congress to have federal oversight and regulatory bodies that will oversee and prevent those banks from collapsing? That's a progressive issue. Democrats.
Who's
you
trying
know
to get
who
rid of the
votes against
FDIC?
that?
Who's doing all that?
Republicans. If you don't want banks to collapse, join us and vote progressive. Surprise.
What was it that made that? What was the Silicon Bank? Why did they collapse overnight? What happened? What caused that?
I don't specifically know.
It was the fucking T-bills, and that's what I was referring to. That's what I'm talking about.
What's the T-bill?
That is the reason, because they had I think it was like $2.8 trillion, or not that much. It was, I don't remember the number. I'm trying to find the article. But when you sit here and say that when
Listen,
the
I'll
Treasury,
tell you, because I have this amazing statistical analysis app. So look. So Silicon Valley's bank's assets were mostly long-term bonds, which are sensitive to interest rate changes, right? When the
Right.
Fed,
And
wait, let me finish talking. When the Fed raised interest rates in 2022, right? Which you need to expect, right? That's how the economy was going. They signaled in 2022 they were going to raise interest rates. Basically, they mismanaged. What happens in
Correct.
Silicon Valley is a private corporation mismanaged. And I'm sure you love Senator Elizabeth Warren, right? And Bernie Sanders.
I don't hate her.
Well,
I
okay,
don't
me
hate
either,
them.
because Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are the senators who have been lobbying for oversight and regulatory bodies to stop this exact thing from happening. So again, if you want to stop banks from over-speculating, overextending themselves and collapsing because of widely fluctuating markets and the investments they were holding in volatile tech stocks, then join us. That's a progressive issue.
it was a Silicon Valley Bank.
Yes, I know. Yes,
wasn't
but you
heavily
don't understand who the investors were. The
Let me
Silicon Valley Bank.
speak.
Hold on, let me speak.
I am
because
not
you don't
interrupting you.
understand.
Oh,
I was the one talking. Silicon Valley Bank widely was being banked. They had most of the money in there, or the big bankers were billionaires. And they were some of the first, they were tech billionaires who were warning each other to pull out their money, and then the bank ran, right? That's what happened. People one called the other and said, oh, this bank's
Correct.
fucked. And they all started withdrawing their money at the same time.
I was building a house. For one of these CEOs. I'm not going to say who it was, but we were building like a $12 million house for him up in Park City during this happened. And I said, what is your opinion on why this happened? He said, he's a billionaire. He said, this is purely bad management by the Treasury. Full stop. Because when you take the amount of T-bills
It's not the Treasury. And you need to stop saying T-bills, right?
Janet
It was
Yellen.
oversight. Oversight failed. Regulatory bodies failed. I agree with you there, but there's several, right?
Jesus Christ.
The SEC failed, the Federal Reserve, like all of them but again, it is Republicans who deregulate. That is Trump's claim to fame. Let private corporations do whatever they want. They can manage themselves. If you
Have you ever owned a business?
So again, yes. You're talking to someone who is a business owner. What in the fuck are you talking about? So anyways, we're all business owners. People who work on the internet, we're business owners.
But you're a business owner of, I don't know what it is, but I'm saying like regulation doesn't affect somebody that sits online all day and clicks on keyboards. Okay. What regulations do affect is energy.
Okay. No.
The amount of regulation.
Oh my God. Okay. You're pivoting. Listen, energy regulations are a different conversation entirely.
Well, that's what he talks about all the time.
No,
energy regulation.
No. Let me just tell you how deregulation works.
Dude,
right?
You are so fucking
he gets
impossible
money.
to talk to.
He gets money. No, because you don't know what you're talking about.
You don't even let me fucking make the point of what I'm trying to talk about. And then everybody's, oh, you're emotional because I can't make a single fucking point.
Okay, so again, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have tried to create regulatory bodies over these banks to stop the collapse, right? And I just want you to know, Silicon Valley Bank, all of their the majority of their investments were in tech and biopharma. They are high risk investments. Okay, wait, I need to say something. I just need to do some capitalism really quick. Susan, hi. Thank you so much for the Fed freeze. I fear for families and babies. I know, me too. Thanks, Kristen, for the $15. Always a wealth of knowledge. Thank you. Thank you. And Sally, thank you for the $50. That's amazing. That makes me want to cry. Watching your live, you're amazing. Thank you, Sally. You're amazing.
I want to
Thank
correct
you
myself.
So much.
What I said earlier, I said 4 banks. It was 15 banks, but
15 banks, you say?
Yeah, none of them as big as SVB, but again, a lot of what I just read was saying that these are problems from long-term decisions made by these banks, not because of something Biden did, not because of Trump's appointed person in the Fed. It's because of long-term decisions made by the bank and probably long-term effects from COVID and the Fed having to adjust interest rates from COVID, from the economy tanking, from inflation. So we raise interest rates to combat inflation. There's obviously going to be collateral damage, especially if billionaires are riding a fucking thin line, making crazy volatile investments like Felice said.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like Silicon Valley Bank, and again, I worked at a huge social media tech company pre and post IPO. I used to live in San Francisco. I understand the tech space. Specifically, the reason Silicon Valley Bank had so many problems was because they did not diversify their investments, right? They were concentrated in tech, they were concentrated in biopharma, and they were highly risky investments.
But the investments
and
aren't
nobody
what
can
collapsed.
Stop a bank run. Once rich
it wasn't
tech people,
their investments.
Yes,
Elise.
it was. Okay, let me just help you. The collapse happened for multiple reasons, including a lack of diversification.
Correct.
That's literally what I just said. That is literally the words I just said. So let me help you. Let me help you very clearly. SVB specialized in lending money to tech and biopharma startup companies, right? The collapse of SVB demonstrated weaknesses in regulation and supervision. If you want regulation and supervision, vote. That's a progressive issue.
Well, who was the president under that term when that occurred? Was he a progressive?
Neither here nor there. Let me just help you. And I want to help you out.
Under Joe Biden?
Fewer than collapse under Trump.
Let's just see.
But again, can I just say something? Because this is false logic.
Just wondering.
Let me finish. Because I'll say this: the pandemic started under Trump, but I am smart enough to know that that's not Trump's fault, right? It is so dumb to say. Some of the dumbest shit I ever hear on this app from MAGA is whoever's sitting in that seat, that's who's responsible. Crazy things happen. No, hold on. No, I don't. I just said the pandemic is not Trump's fault. Now, Trump's mismanagement of the response, I can hold him partially responsible, but I will never hold Trump responsible for a pandemic happening. Right? Things happen, right? Just like, we could talk about the causes of the 2008 bank collapse. We can, listen, You don't understand the sine wave of capitalism. It's
Don't tell me
boom
what I
bust.
understand
But
and
you
don't.
don't. You don't.
It's fucking gross
sir,
when you do
the
that.
economy. Okay, well, the economy doesn't turn on a dime, right? Decisions
Correct.
are made. Republicans deregulate, make risky decisions, do a lot of fucked up things, right? Then they're taken. Right? Then they're taken.
An example of Republicans doing risky and regulation.
Oh my
Not
God.
saying they don't. I'm just saying, give me an example of when they do that, and then you're making a point now. Elaborate on that.
Trump,
if it's-
Trump deregulating train braking systems, and then the Ohio train.
Trump wasn't in office when that happened.
No shit, Sherlock, but he's the one that deregulated the
So
train
if it's
industry.
so dangerous,
okay,
then
let
why
me
didn't
help
Biden
you,
fix
sir.
it?
I'm going to say it slower. Trump deregulated the train industry and the train. He's responsible for it, and then a disaster happened. You asked
Well,
me
how-
to give you an example.
how long-
That
how
is
long
an
was-
example. I'm sorry
how-
you don't like the example. Cause
How long ago
and
was it?
Effect.
When did it happen?
That is logic.
When did it happen? I know, but if Joe Biden came in and fixed everything,
Oh my
then
God,
we should have
MAGA.
caught that one if it was so dangerous.
I didn't say.
straw
What do you
man,
mean,
bro.
Joe
Like, we
Biden?
just
That's a
had-
straw
we
man
just had-
argument.
Stop-
Again,
No,
false
it's-
logic.
Stop
You have
blaming
no
Biden
idea
for
how to
Trump's
debate.
failures. Like Biden can't.
Look,
Biden's not
I'm
putting
not.
on Trump's diapers. He's not here to change Trump's diapers.
Look, I'm not. I'm saying this is we all do it. Because I've seen on so many other lives, they're like, oh, why are eggs still $5 a dozen, and it's only been 4 fucking days? It's like, wait, I thought the president wasn't responsible, and then it like goes fucking. It's a retarded fucking argument.
Oh,
But everybody makes
Wow,
it.
that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Why?
Oh, Debo. All right, we had Debo on for an hour. Chat. Can't drop the R.
Wow,
slur.
way to end with a
Nowhere
slur.
on TikTok can you say that. I'm sorry, guys. Chat, if you're friendly, get out of my box. Guys, follow the stream if you enjoy debates. Let's get up to 150K real quick. We're at 137. Oh, gosh, that got heated. I was stressed 100% of that.
Hello?
Yellow.
Hi. I might be friendly. I don't know yet.
Are you a Trump?
I guess my argument is that I don't think that the left in America, I don't think the liberals in America are doing enough to combat what's going on. I don't think they ever were.
All right, chat, if you're a Trump supporter, hop
That's
on.
fair, Tristan. I don't disagree with that statement.
Oh, I know what this is. Thank you. Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, please
Are
stay
you
in the box.
eating?
Come debate.
Give me some.
I'm eating
I'm going to go get a fruit roll up really quick.
Yeah, Trump ran on grocery prices and egg prices for 4 years, and our argument was that Biden didn't do anything to affect those things. And now Trump comes in and puts insane tariffs and fucks up our relationships with our allies, which obviously is going to hurt our prices of consumer goods. Hello? Yellow? Jade Horse? Sound way too sophisticated.
Do you have classical music playing? I love that. We should.
Yeah, it's very sophisticated.
It's like we're all in an elevator together.
Yellow?
Hello.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
All right, what do you like about Trump?
His foreign policy.
Ooh, okay. What about his foreign policy?
Stop funding Ukraine.
What's his stance on Ukraine?
Why we should send our tax money to Ukraine and having the hyperinflation in the United States?
Is us sending money to Ukraine causing inflation?
Yes.
How much money have we sent to Ukraine?
I don't know. I didn't look up that, but I'm pretty sure it's billions of dollars.
All right, so I'm going to help you out, all right? We've sent a total of about 40 billion to Ukraine. Okay.
I don't consent to a single dollar to it, so why should I send it?
Okay, but I'm going to paint this picture for you just to show you how ridiculous this claim is, okay? $40 billion,
It's not it.
and we have an $800 billion military budget. Did our military budget increase when we sent $40 billion to Ukraine?
So 40 billion is nothing for you?
Can you
People
answer?
are-
Welcome to the
Groceries,
United
so-
States.
Yes. Can you answer that question?
Come again?
Did $40 billion
By the way,
increase our
the
military
comments, I'm
budget?
not Russian.
Did it
I'm
increase?
not Russian.
All right, stop reading the comments. You're talking to me. Did $40 billion? Did our military budget increase by $40 billion when we sent military aid to Ukraine?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
So prove that.
Yes. So these funds were reallocated. And to paint this picture even better, this is our military budget from 2023, okay? $1.14 trillion. You think a sliver this big in our budget, I think this is pretty accurate, probably this big, created inflation?
Yes.
Okay. It's not the truth. In fact, if we never sent that money to Ukraine, we would have spent every penny of it still.
Can I just help with that? It's not the money, right? That's nothing to us. And it was already allocated in our military budget that caused inflation. But there was some disruption in the supply chain, right? Caused by the Ukraine war. But the Ukraine war was going on whether or not we sent money. But the disruption in the supply chain was inflationary. But those are two different things.
In the comments, they say, I don't understand how budget works, but you're saying the allocation for the military, we could spend that money inside United States and
I love
in
that.
this country.
I love that. So the people on the left, we're the ones who do that. So like all of these programs right here, you see, like science, government, all the stuff that Trump is about to cut, we're the ones who funded all of this. So if you want to see some of our military budget go to this side of this graph, you vote blue. Can you tell me a thing that Trump did to spend money last time in his first administration on America first?
Trump did last time? Mm-hmm. No, I don't know that.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything. I can tell you...
But because there was no war at that time.
No, I'm saying, like, tell me a thing that he took... Tell me a time where Trump took money and spent it here domestically on the U.S., like to make jobs.
I think
or
he
something.
spent some of the money on the budget on borders, like the walls.
Okay, still,
Yeah.
I can tell you, Biden did a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that created 56,000 jobs, or 56,000 projects, which created even more jobs. He did the Inflation Reduction Act, which created a bunch of EV or like alternative energy manufacturing facilities and manufacturing jobs. He created the Chips and Science Act. He did the PACT Act, which was a huge veteran healthcare bill that allocated billions to American veterans. Can you just give me one example of Trump doing anything like that? And
Like I said, allocated some of the money and budget to the wall. We have protected borders, and we have border actually, not 10 million people crossing.
He did $237 million on the wall. It's literally nothing.
I don't know the numbers. You looked it up and you're a professional on that, right? I don't know the numbers. What I'm saying is, as a taxpayer, I do not consent to send my tax money to Ukraine and a sort of war. And it didn't happen under Trump administration.
Okay.
Previous Trump administration.
So what I'm saying is we would have spent every single penny that we did spend in Ukraine. We would have spent it anyway. And putting it towards Ukraine is paramount to helping the East in those Europe, like the Europe countries, have economic stability, which does affect us way more than the tune of $40 billion. Like way, way more. If we were to let their economy get fucked up, we'd be paying for it with American lives.
All right, here's the deal. You think since Trump got into office, right, the Gaza war stopped, the Ukraine war stopped, and we are not sending any money to start a war or continue the war.
Okay,
so
that's not true. He's
I'm
funding
happy
Israel.
with his foreign policy.
He's funding Israel, so you're off there.
No, not funding Israel. He lifted the ban over 2,000 ballistic missiles that there was a ban. He didn't send money to Israel.
He's going to continue funding Israel.
Not yet.
He's never talked about stopping, has he? And you haven't mentioned not funding Israel, have you?
I said not yet, and he didn't send the money since he got into office. I know it's a week only.
It's been
but
7 days. Yeah. Like,
know
I
that.
mean, on that, but like, you have to listen to, I mean,
When I say I like
every
his foreign
Trump's
policy,
ambassador,
that's
I'm
what
just
I meant
telling
by
you,
that.
if you're worried, are you worried he's not going to, or are you saying like, what is the, cause if you're worried, I can reassure you, I've listened to the confirmation hearings of the Secretary of State. I've listened to the ambassador to Israel is the scariest Zionist of all time. Trump is a Zionist. Like, they are going to not just support them, but this is a land grab. Like, Trump wants to put Trump Tower on the sea in Palestine. Like, if you listen to his rhetoric, my fear is for the Palestinians,
like you said, that's rhetoric.
not for Israel, right? Like, he's saying, like, what Trump is saying this week and last Friday, he on his plane back from Nevada, right? Like, that's the latest thing, is he's echoing far right Israeli fringe rhetoric. And he's basically saying, hey, let's do the Nakba like 2.0, right? He's saying, we've already demolished the entire place. Let's resettle the Palestinians, right? And we can create some beautiful things there. This is a land grab. And his son-in-law, like, look at his investments.
What does he have to do
always
with this?
follow
And maybe
the money with Trump.
Somehow, listen,
Always follow them. I'm just
on-
saying Jared Kushner is investing along with other Middle Eastern places in this effort.
Yeah, but what does he have to do with sending the taxpayer dollars to them? Like you said, yeah, maybe he's okay with his son-in-law Zionist person because I'm Iranian American and I do not want to see a war between Iran and Israel. And what I say is,
I voted for Kamala.
why he has stopped sending money to.
So you're saying, okay, I get it now. You don't want him to. You're Iranian, and you don't want him to fund Israel.
Yes.
Well,
and
I
he didn't do
listen.
it.
I hope for your
There's a
sake that that's
ceasefire
true,
in
but
place
you have
right
to
now.
understand what's
There's a
coming. That
ceasefire
is
in
not
place.
what's coming.
You know who
Yeah, there's a
coordinated that
ceasefire
ceasefire?
between Hezbollah and Iran,
You know who-
and
you know who-
Hezbollah and Israel, and also
I
at
agree.
the same time there is
Yeah, I
a ceasefire
agree.
between
Thanks, Joe
Gaza
Biden.
and Israel.
Yeah, Joe Biden did
Thanks,
that.
Joe Biden.
No,
Yeah.
the day
Yes.
before Trump
Thanks, Joe
getting into
Biden.
office, and also at the same time we
we can prove
4
that
years
to
there
you.
was an ongoing war
It
between
was Joe Biden.
between Ukraine and Russia, and America was funding it under
We're
Biden
funding
administration.
defense. We're funding Ukraine's defense. If Russia
Defense.
just were to stop trying to invade
And
Ukraine,
why,
they'd
as
stop
American,
dying.
you are more American than me, right? You're saying this, and why you accept as an American, your tax money goes to Ukraine
Dude,
and
I don't-
as
I
a
don't-
defense.
I don't-
Listen. People of America suffering here. I see it with my own eyes.
You're just a hypocrite
You're
because
suffering.
the right does
You don't
not help
understand
You cannot
American
afford their
people.
lives.
Hold on.
Let him finish. Yeah. You
The
got to
right
understand
does
how
not-
our budget works.
The right does not fund any social programs to help Americans here. If you can name one thing in the entire American history of conservatives funding social safety nets to help people in need, I would love to hear it. I've never heard of one example, but we constantly are trying to help the needy. And you guys call it socialism and communism and fearmonger on it. So there's no way they would ever vote and legislate things that you're talking about. You just have these weird quips and you have some weird propaganda talking points from Putin himself saying,
This is
hey,
not a weird
stop sending
propaganda.
money. Stop sending money to
Yes.
my enemies. That's all
No,
you know.
not to enemies. Like that, Ukraine is like 2 continents away from this country, right? It's far away from here. And why France and England and Germany cut the budget sending the money to Ukraine, and it's still America sending the major money to Ukraine in order to have a defense far away from America?
Yes, because we have allies and we depend on the well-being of their economy. And we
And-
already spend $800 billion every year on our military for what? For what? To do nothing? We need to
You know how
utilize
much
our
percentage
military,
of the
man.
budget
We need to
for the
utilize
war
our budget for
for
the best things, the
Ukraine
most effective
was
things
from
possible.
was
We
from
need to-
United States.
I think it's the
80%,
most.
brother.
I think it's the most effective way to use our defense budget is to fund people who need defense.
Listen, 80% of the Ukraine war was from United States. That the budget. So
That's not true. Europe's
that is
given
true.
more.
Like
Europe, the
22%
EU
came
has
from-
given
came
more
from
money
England.
than the United
budget
States.
was from
49,
France.
51.
Budget was from
Hey,
Germany.
just so you know,
And
the
rest of it
EU's
was from
given more
United
money.
States.
The EU's
Why
given
United
more
States
money?
has to pay so much money to
Because we
Ukraine,
have
and
an
people
insane
in
military
America
budget.
suffering financially, facing financial
Again, you have the
hardship.
numbers wrong. The EU has given more than us. So just to be clear, but I'll tell you why. For one, I agree with you. I think we should take money away from our military budget. I think we already have the most lethal fighting force in the world. It's a little bit excessive at this point. I mean, I think a lot of Americans would like healthcare, but that has to do with the budget. That has to do with
At least we
Congress.
found the common
Well, wait,
ground.
hold on. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I totally do. But I'm saying that has to do with the makeup of Congress. The Republicans pretty much rule, like the House makes the legislation, the budget, right? And that was in the 118th Congress, that was ruled by Republicans. And in the 119th Congress, it's ruled by Republicans, right? So, and now they have the Senate too. So that's not going to be, yeah, that's our pipe dream, but that's definitely not coming down the pipeline right now. But wait, let me just make one more point. You have to understand how the U.S. economy works. We are a war machine, right? We are fueling our own economy. Like most of what we gave Ukraine is our old weaponry and stuff. And then we have a military complex. Unfortunately, I don't like it, but then we produce more and we fuel our own economy. We are the number one arms.
Ukraine
We
will
are the
not be
number
able
one
to
arms
give the
dealers in the
money
world. Listen,
to
we are the
us.
number one arms dealers in the world. We deal arms. That's how we make
They're saying
money.
Ukraine economy is in toilet. They cannot give the money to us back. Whatever money we gave them.
Okay, but
Also
wait,
the-
let me just explain something to you, though, about Ukraine that I don't think you understand. Ukraine is one of the most mineral rich places in the world. It is the breadbasket of Europe. I don't think you understand
I
the
do.
resources that are in Ukraine. So to say that it's not possible that one day they could pay us back, whether that's
Listen,
through
I can
relationship
tell you, if
with
Ukraine
American
wants to pay us
corporations
back
or
the
otherwise,
money we already
hey,
gave
Ukraine
it
is
takes
a rich
minimum
place.
50 to 100 years
Hey,
for them
I don't
to
think
give
you
us
understand
back.
the wealth of Ukraine. I think
All right, you keep saying I don't
well, I'm
understand.
saying you have to understand what Putin's interest is. It is in the wealth. It's in its strategic access to the sea. Like you're wrong about Ukraine not
Putin
having
already
value.
got-
You're
Putin
wrong
already
about
got
Ukraine not
Crimea,
having
right?
value. I'll say that. But let me agree with you. Let me agree with you on some things, right? Like I just want to explain the difference. Putin at any moment can take his toys and go home. Right? He is the aggressor in that conflict. I'm not for authoritarian aggression. In my view, again, this is my opinion, Israel is a disproportionate authoritarian aggressor. I don't think what Israel has done to Palestine, in my view, I don't think we should be funding a one-sided G side that we're all watching in real time. It's disturbing. I don't like authoritarian aggression on any terms, right? And I agree with what Pickle said. If we're going to use our authoritarian aggression should be met with resistance all around the world.
One thing that I see as a double standard for like Biden supporter and Kamala supporter is you at the same time advocating sending the tax dollars to Ukraine and Israel. At the same time, you say stop the war. So how does it work? Like if you're advocating the war, which is no one likes war, but you sending the tax, so in order to stop the war, you have to stop sending the tax money because you know what fuels it? It's money. It's taxpayer money.
Let's walk through this logic then, okay? So if Ukraine runs out of money to survive, Russia pushes them, continues to push them, they all just die. Is that what you want?
No.
So what's your best solution here?
The best
what do we
solution, like right now, get into a deal and no one is gonna die. And
No one's ever thought about that. Diplomacy? Dang.
yeah. That's how it
Of course
works.
we've tried that, bro.
Instead of sending taxpayer dollars.
Trump was going to end the war on day one. This is
You
your
know-
guy. You need to take this up with your
This
guy. We're
war is a
waiting.
last result. Let's
Let's
done
see how
all
it
of
goes.
this.
We know that. Listen, we know that as a matter of fact, he cut the budget for wars, and he says that we're gonna help the people of America, and that's what you asked me. What part of Trump policy I like? I said foreign policy, and that's what I like. It. Maybe I disagree with him.
Trump has disgusting foreign policy, and all you know is this much. when like there's this much of Trump doing horrible things that have killed people, unalive people?
Since he's in office, no one killed in Gaza, no one killed in
That's
Russia
right.
or Ukraine.
That's right.
So,
You've got your eye on this when there's a huge picture going on, right?
Like you're all saying, like one is too many, right? Since he's in office, like it's been a
being
week and
silly.
no one got killed.
You're being silly. When Trump took office the first time, he increased drone strikes by 450%. Is that in line with your like super?
You know how many people died in Gaza?
I don't care if you're just focusing on Gaza.
You don't
that's
care
fucking
about
stupid.
50,000 lives in Gaza? Or
Do you
50
care
or-
about 20,000 lives in Turkish-Kurdish war?
So one is too many. Of course, I'm not advocating
You're just
that.
being impossible now. So like you're saying that Trump didn't allow people to die, but he did, and you're saying, well, Gaza. And I'm saying, well, it doesn't matter. There's other countries people died in.
What about Syria? What about what Trump did in Syria?
Started under Obama administration. If you're talking
but
about,
I'm talking about Trump's first term.
Trump ended
When he
that.
Trump's
What are you
no,
talking
he
about?
didn't. You're wrong. Trump's first term, he relentlessly
Trump ended
unalived.
that.
Trump's first term, he relentlessly unalived people in Syria. He did not end it
He ended that.
in a proxy war. So understand, if you don't understand why we were in Syria, that was a proxy war with Putin. Trump was in a proxy war in Syria, unaliving people in Syria, fighting Russia, right? Because Obama used to.
If you are saying proxy war, so
Well, let me- I'll explain it.
Also, proxy war was funded by.
Yeah, well, let me
Biden
just explain.
administration.
Oh, like Obama used to always say, "Oh, Putin's a regional power," and goad him. And Putin wanted power in the Middle East, right? He wanted military bases, and he wanted some sort of base, like forward military base that he could operate from. That became Syria, right? And that's why we were in Syria. I don't like that we were. Bashir al-Assad was using chemical weapons on his own people, backed by the Wagner Group, right? Russia's private military. Rest in peace, Prigozhin, another one of the poisoner chief's victims. But yeah, I mean, that's what was going on.
Now you're advocating the life of the
I'm not-
50,000 people.
No, I'm saying it's wrong. I'm saying Trump was doing this. I'm saying Trump was doing this. You don't understand. You think that Trump, I think that you've heard Trump say no new wars. I'm explaining to you, I'm explaining to you that people in the Middle East were being unalived under Trump. That's what I'm explaining
It's
to
been a
you.
week and there is no war. Let's see how it goes in the future.
Okay, so it's still
Right?
it's still false. Your whole line of logic is Trump is this like altruistic person who just doesn't let people die, but he's made various decisions that directly killed people. So that doesn't make any sense. And you're saying we should stop funding Ukraine because we hate war, but if we stop funding Ukraine, that would just allow Ukrainians to just get killed unmercifully. So what are you saying, man?
I'm saying I do not like that. I was very clear about it, and I said I do not like to see taxpayer dollars goes funded to Ukraine or any
That's
other country.
stupid. They're saying
While
they're saving
at the
lives. Why don't
same
you care
time,
about
American
lives?
people facing financial hardship here. They cannot afford the grocery store. They cannot afford whatever they wanted, like the rent and everything. So
Yeah, I know. And Trump's going to make that
I
worse.
do not like to see
Trump's
that.
making
And I
things
saw
more
it under
expensive.
Biden administration, and it's been a week that Trump is in office, and we have ceasefire everywhere.
No, okay, so
Biden
again, everything,
negotiated that.
the logic
Biden
is completely false. So let me just correct your lies, right? That was Biden's ceasefire. You can look that up. You're incorrect about that. Now, just to be clear, you don't understand how the United States budget works, right? If you care, which I don't believe you do, but if you cared about unhoused,
don't.
wait, let me finish. If you did, though, right, I'm going to help you out then you're going to change your political ideology right now in this debate. If you care about unhoused and poor people, that is a progressive issue. It is the Republican Party that vote against funding those issues every single time. Now, if we did not give a dime to Ukraine, if we did not give a dime to Israel, it will never go to those causes when Republicans control the budget. Those are facts. Everything you have said is based on misinformation and false logic. Not one thing and a hope and a prayer. And a hope and a prayer. I'll give you a hope and a prayer, but none of it is correct.
All right. It's started under Biden administration. And who signed it?
I don't.
Biden did.
I
right?
know. Like, but we can walk and chew bubble gum. Biden is also the person who spent the most money by a factor of 6,000 or whatever on the American people as opposed to Trump. So, again, which side spends money on the American people, the left or the right?
Come again? Sorry, I didn't catch the last one.
Which political party spends money on the American people, the left or the right?
I think right.
And can you give me an example?
Wrong answer.
Like I said, like sending taxpayer dollars to.
No.
Okay.
Tell me where they spend it on the American people.
Trump paused all federal aid. So let me help you out. Today, Trump paused all federal aid. Like, so all of the aid going to the American people, save a few programs, is literally being canceled. Stop talking, because you have no, like, quite honestly, you are spreading so much misinformation that it's getting a little ridiculous at this point.
Like
at 5 p.m. today, you're saying you care about the American people. At 5 p.m. today, all the federal aid, all of the aid going to the American people is being shut down.
No, that's misinformation. Sending. Biden
it's not. There's a memo.
Biden
There's a memo. Read the news. Read the news, sir. You have no idea what's going on today. Very clearly, literally, Trump shut down aid to the American people today.
Following the news.
So again, you made a claim that is false.
Okay, it's false that Biden signed that to send the taxpayer dollars to Ukraine.
I say, listen,
again, that has nothing to do with the line of logic we're on.
You're correct. Let's talk about this more in depth, okay? $1.2 trillion in the American Rescue Plan. That's Biden. Here's Biden. CHIPS and Science Act. It was like $600 billion, and then we have the infrastructure bill. That was like another $1.2 trillion, and you're crying over spilled milk. $40 billion.
Yes, because I started saying that I don't like his foreign policy, Biden's foreign policy. I didn't say that domestic policy.
And all you have beef with is $40 billion, which is so sad, so minuscule, so tiny in the big picture.
It is not minuscule.
It's tiny.
It is not minuscule.
It's the tiniest. It's the tiniest part of our budget.
It's not tiny. Why the American people cannot afford a grocery? And then
here's where Biden has tried to attack that. Okay, so we can walk and chew bubblegum. Give me one example of Trump doing something like this. Just one. One example of Republicans helping the American people with, like, monetarily helping the American people.
That's the domestic policy. Example? I'm not very educated on the domestic policy of Trump.
I want you to know there are no examples. There's no examples. Okay, so you are very uninformed here, bub.
Yes, when it comes to domestic policy, I'm very uninformed.
Okay, but then stop saying people can't afford groceries. Stop saying people can't afford groceries. Trump said on day one, but you're saying I don't know about domestic policy, but your claim is, hey, we gave $60 billion to Ukraine and people can't afford groceries. Those are two separate issues. Right there, that's false logic. You cannot reallocate money from the military budget.
You cannot reallocate the money
to domestic. We've explained that to you three times. We explained it to you 3 times at this point. Republicans. He just told you. Republicans control the budget. Republicans control the budget, and they will not spend money on the American people. We just explained it. We've now for the 4th time explained that to you, sir.
If you don't let me talk, so I'm a guest here. I'm not gonna talk. You guys go host, and then I appreciate letting me up here. And then thank you. And I'm also an American citizen. As an American, I work here super hard. I moved here 16 years ago, and when I see my taxpayer, I don't like that part. Maybe on some other part, we agree on a lot of things. But when I see my taxpayer dollars goes and then it become a bomb over somebody else's,
then you should be very upset with Trump.
No, I'm not, because now I see at least a week there is no war going on around the world.
We are literally causing conflict everywhere.
Read a book.
We are literally causing conflict. Trump is the most abrasive, undiplomatic president we've ever had. I think you're silly for thinking.
At least he stopped sending $40 billion to
Yeah,
Ukraine.
and that's
like you
so
said.
stupid. Every year we allocate $65 billion to foreign aid. Every year, that's our average. And somehow you've been trained to be upset about this very specifically, and it's because you've been propagandized, my friend.
At least this is not a propaganda. You agreed that we sent $40 billion. And I'm saying at least in a week we didn't send $40 billion. And
Okay,
Trump didn't
if
sign
we
it.
didn't send $40 billion, would you be happy with the fact that we did all of this domestically for our Americans and Trump didn't?
Come again, sorry.
Look
English,
at all
my
the stuff
second
that
language.
Biden did domestically. All of these things Biden did for America. Can you name one thing Trump would do or has done with something like $40 billion for Americans, which wouldn't be
Maybe reallocating that money to have a protected border or better border.
Okay, again, Trump built 52
I
miles.
cannot predict the future.
He built 52 miles of wall, and again, that doesn't really do anything for you, right? Like you might feel safer or something, but there's no reason to feel that way. He's managed to scare you and give you a solution to a problem that's not there.
So once you experience that thing, that you can reallocate that money and spending in some other and utilizing this money.
You would
in
rather
other
have a
way.
wall than infrastructure, than chips and science manufacturing, than
What I'm saying,
having
you
our
can
economy put
utilize
on.
$40 billion.
That's very
and
silly.
spending on
40
something
billion? How much of 40 billion is 1.2 trillion? Like, how many times does 40 billion go into
like three times.
Two?
I'm sorry, 300.
Okay, so again, Biden has done 200 times what we've sent to Ukraine just with one bill, and he's done it like 3 times over?
But still, like you said, people are facing financial hardship in the United States. It's better to spend that money
you
and
prefer-
utilize it in a better way.
So Trump comes in and he's going to make everything more expensive. And that's an actual fact. He's going to make things very expensive. But you're still stoked that we're not sending $40 billion to Ukraine? That's somehow better for you.
And also stopping the war. What I don't like to see a war funded by Biden administration.
Okay,
That's
can
what
I
don't
tell
like.
you? Can I tell you something that just before? Because I think you're just repeating the same things over and over at this point. Like, here's what you don't know. 5 days ago, Trump signed an executive order that revived the Muslim ban. You know, Iran is one of those countries, right? Let me just tell you what Iran said about Trump, right? They don't want any more people like yourself from Iran in this country. This is from January 22nd. The Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee said the new order relied heavily on the same statutory authority used to justify Trump's 2017 travel ban and Muslim ban. The National Iranian Americans Council said Trump's order on if you want to know what this executive order is called that's discriminating against your people, it's called Protecting the United States from Foreign Terrorists and Other National Security and Public Safety. No, not done. Public safety threats would separate U.S. families, that's you, U.S. families, from loved ones and lower enrollment at U.S. universities. They are going to take Iranian students who support Palestine, who are students here, and if they bear what they call hostile attitudes, they're going to deport them from the country. Surprise! That's Donald Trump. You have no idea what's going on in America. This affects you and your people, and you're sitting here freaking deriding for this man. I am embarrassed for you, sir. Embarrassed for you.
Okay, embarrassed. All right, I got your point. You have a point on that. But that is, again, whataboutism fallacy. Right? Wake up, sir. Once I came to the panel, you all said what you don't like about the Biden administration, what you like. I said,
so you're repeating the same things again, sir. So again, rights groups warned Trump executive order would restore Muslim travel ban, but this time it's worse. They're going to deport Iranian students from schools that defend Palestine. These are your people. And you are up here yelling, yay, Trump. What I suggest is you look up this executive order. It's called Protecting the United States from Foreign Terrorists and Other National Security and Public Safety Threats. And you recognize that you're next in line.
Can I talk? I concede that, and you should consider as well that sending some other countries to start a war and continue the war and people getting killed is wrong. Please concede that.
No, again, that's false logic. You're just
What?
repeating some random thing over and over again.
You
So
are
I'm
the
going to say
co-host,
again, let me
right?
explain to you why I'm not conceding that. Because this is Republican policy, right? The budget, the 118th Congress, the House that controls the budget, was controlled by Republicans. The 119th
Who
Congress,
signed the
the
bill? Who signed it?
119th Congress that we're
signed
in
it?
now.
Who
No, let me
signed
tell.
it?
Okay, let me explain something to you because you don't understand how budgets work.
Hey, my
There's a
friend,
law
who
called
signed
impoundment.
it?
Let me help you, Max, so you can learn something and not embarrass yourself publicly anymore.
I'm learning.
There
I
is
learned
a
a lot
law.
today.
There is a law called impoundment. You can withhold funds for 45 days, but the president has to release the funds. You
Okay,
don't have the luxury of deciding whether or not to send money where Congress
you
says it
don't
should
concede
go,
on that?
where Congress says it should go or not. You're incorrect about every
Your
single
friend
thing.
literally said
You
that
are
40 billion was
incorrect about
funded.
every single thing you've said. And I would go read up on that executive order that's going to affect your life very, very soon.
All right. So I'm not gonna repeat myself, and I agree you have some points on that, and then I agree and I concede some of your points, but you don't want to concede that on the part that sending taxpayer dollars to some countries to continue the war and become a bomb over someone
No one's
else's
continuing
head.
a war, bro. You're lying. You're lying.
No,
Ukraine's
Biden
aid
signed
did
it.
not continue a war.
Biden
It's allowing
signed
them
it.
to survive.
Biden signed it.
Okay,
brother.
does Ukraine aid cause Russians to rush in there and get killed?
Biden signed it. Anyway.
Okay, does humanitarian aid and tanks sent to Ukraine cause Russia to push in and try to invade?
No, the money caused the continuation of the war. The
Can
money
you tell
caused
me
the
how?
starting the war.
Tell me
And
how.
If they don't have money, like Zelensky said so many times, if they didn't have money or getting funded by America, they would have stopped the war.
Okay, what do you mean stop the war? What does that mean to you? Do you mean they all
Like
die?
right now, like annexation of some states, some cities of Ukraine to Russia, and then they're gonna stop the war and get
That
into
doesn't stop the war. They're just that
Yes,
wouldn't stop
now
the
they're
war.
getting into it.
That would make them lose
That's
the
all
war.
I can say.
That would make
I'm
them
sorry
lose
if
the war.
if I was not able to put my.
Okay, I hate that person, guys.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said. You're so nice.
That would
I mean,
not
listen, he's
stop
factual.
anything.
His logic is so backwards. I really, sir, let me just read the name of that executive order that's going to deport Iranians and reinstate the Muslim ban. I think that's your number one priority, not just making up false logic and stating random things. I think you really need to worry about the executive order protecting the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. That's your immediate concern right now, sir.
And thank you for the $25 to kick.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I am not.
Okay, guys, opposition only. If you're friendly, get out of my box. If you're a Trump supporter, hop in the box, come and debate. I don't know how stop spending money for people to defend themselves magically ends a war.
I think what was happening with Max there was like the death rattle. You know, when you like voted for something and you're realizing you've been betrayed and you're just like desperately hanging on to like cognitive dissonance and hope that like your entire world is not now falling apart. Like I'm half indigenous Mexican and half black. Or my dad is, and so I'm like a quarter of those things. I have relatives who voted to deport themselves. Like they didn't know they were doing that. But like I think a lot of people are like just like, this can't be real, this isn't happening, I've got to cling to like false logic.
Anybody who's said that to me has not had that like full line of logic like come through. Like it makes no actual sense. Makes no sense. And
Annie, thank you so much for the $25 for pain and suffering. I know. Thank you. I have a migraine and it's not the headband.
Oh. Hello, Gelman? Gelman, are you there? Hello. Gelman? Gelman, I like your pompadour.
Do like your hair.
He's scripted. I mean, I don't know. That guy. When you don't know, oh God, does anybody want to manage my guests? I have to make my coffee. Son of a bitch. Got a little Chemex pour over, chat. Just a little Chemex pour over.
Wow, is that a tea kettle? I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
What, do you have a French press going on?
One of these guys.
Nice.
Información importante para los beneficiarios de Medicare. Si eres nuevo en Medicare o estás mudándote o perdiendo cobertura, podrías ser elegible para inscribirte en un...
Honestly, Max was insufferable, but we should pity him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's in for a rude awakening.
I do have to stop myself from celebrating their impending
Oh, did
doom.
did you hear, oh my God, I could play the funniest video. Did you guys hear like that like some MAGA person like wrote this open letter and it on X and it's like, "Dear President Trump and Ted Cruz, I know you didn't mean for my wife to lose her job at the VA, but we sold our house and we're moving and now her job's canceled." And she's like, "I know that you didn't mean to hurt me. Please help." Like,
Oops.
and it's like, are you kidding me?
Oops. Hello, Miriam. Are you a Trump supporter?
Could listen to, and then like people are reading it in like hilarious voices. Yeah, we tried to tell you that's Project 2025 101. Of course, there was going to be a federal hiring freeze. People told you that for 2 years.
Trump said that's not his. You don't understand.
Concepts of thoughts and tariffs to them. Who said that? That was funny.
Hello, Ronald.
DJ, that was funny.
Hello, Ronald. Mr. McDonald. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Max is in the comments saying he was kicked and that's not fair. Someone paid $25 to get rid of you, Max. That's free market capitalism is what you're experiencing. You probably love that, right?
Hey, you didn't have the right paperwork, so I kicked you. Hello?
What's going on?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
How y'all doing today?
Doing good. Are you there? Ronaldo? Can you hear me?
Ronald.
Pretty well.
I think he's like hunting or something. Like he can't talk or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. It sounded like he was in a...
A deer stand?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I heard like a little goose in the background.
What's up, guys? And Felicia.
It's Felice.
Felice, sir. But I do answer to that at this point, so that's fine.
What's
I kind
up?
of figured.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
What do you think about my my Chemex coffee pour over?
I think it's missing some nigger semen.
Oh, okay.
I hate this country.
That guy makes me laughing. I'm sorry.
Do you think the N-word's funny? How old are you?
Bro, I'm coming here. I don't play PUBG with you, bro. Again. So play PUBG. I have a good sensitivity gift for you. Do you remember that day?
What?
Shit's getting weird.
Do you remember that day when your sensitivity, you lost your sensitivity? And you tried to... oh.
What are you saying?
Maybe trying to say sensitivity. I don't... I'm trying, I think he might have been... I don't know. Civility or sensitivity or something. Sir, you got to enunciate if you're trying to insult us.
Chat, we're cooked. They're not sending their best, chat. Chat, follow the stream if you enjoy these debates. We're usually... It's a little less fiery around here sometimes. Sometimes it's...
It used to be nice.
Hello? Coming back from that last guy. Hello? Chat, if you're a Trump supporter, come debate me. Guys, we are hemorrhaging supporters.
And I'll be quiet until you say something incorrect.
We are hemorrhaging supporters. So if you're able to become a supporter on the app, I dare you to. Because a lot of people lost their ability.
Oh, and I'll say this because I figured this out. If you don't know, you can recharge your coins through tiktok.com/recharge and also subscribe that way through desktop. I just found this out. If I was never on Faxes Live, I thought like we were all just slowly bleeding subscriptions and would never, ever get any again until I just heard Fax say that. And then someone people were like, no, you can subscribe that way through desktop as well. So... yeah, just to be clear, you can. And I think there's like a discount on recharging your coins that way. So in the future, we probably all should just go to tiktok.com slash. Yeah, they're 25% cheaper. That's what I heard. I'm like, what? I agree. The algorithm is broken. Ever since they turned TikTok off and turned it back on, it's never been the same.
Hello?
Hey, I just wanted to not waste your time as a Kamala supporter because of all those other idiots who are joining but not saying anything. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi.
Hi, all right.
Peter, keep fighting the good fight. You're a good man.
I will do.
Can hear it in your voice. Hear the intelligence in your voice. Thank you for reading books. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chat, by the way, I know I say this every day, but I have an Amazon wish list up right now. It's in my link in my bio. It's in my link tree.
So do I.
And so does Felice. I signed a lease yesterday, and I'm going to be getting my own place. I am in a transitional period in my life. I am
going to be visiting against your will.
Yes, I've lost most of my belongings. So this would be super helpful if you guys want to. There's like
we all lived it with you. We know.
Yeah, if you guys want to help me, there's everything from soap to like shower curtains. Like if everybody did a little something, I would be set so well. So thank you. Hello.
Thank God Tanner's here. Hi Tanner, I missed you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm really sick right now. But I just wanted to also shout out while you're on that point. Hold on, I had to cough. But he has a Discord as well. There's a lot of new people in the chat.
Is it the bird flu?
I don't say that. I'm scared.
Give it to us straight. Is it the bird flu? Are you patient zero? I heard it's in cows now.
He's like,
well, it's not me, I can tell you. I've never heard of that bird. What a mean bird. No, but yeah, they both have Discords, by the way. They both have Discords. Somebody said if you're a friendly, get out of my box. I have permission up here, right? You watch it, or I'll kick you out of the live. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. But anyways, you watch it. Whoever said that in chat, I'm watching you.
Tanner, just random.
Guys, if you're in my box and you're friendly, go on and get.
That's what she said.
I'm scared. What is this? Hello?
Hello.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
All right. What do you like about Trump?
I was just wondering if Trump makes America so terrible, why don't you move countries?
I don't know. Were you thinking about moving when Biden was president?
No, because I'm not on social media pouting about it.
Oh, okay.
You're sitting here making money off of Trump while you're complaining about him.
Sir, you're a Republican. Do you understand free market capitalism?
Yes, but
yeah, you must be a supporter of capitalism.
You're sitting here making money off of something you're complaining about. Why don't you just go?
Okay, so again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying facts that are making you feel emotional.
No, you're the one that's yelling.
Okay.
I'm up here mostly to educate, so mostly it's educational for you guys.
I literally used to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So you're saying America's not that bad. It's just not what you like.
Yeah, we can always have criticisms of our government. You have those too, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That was my question. That's all I wanted. That's what I was wondering.
Why would you want Americans to move out instead of voice their opinions?
Because if it's so terrible, then why would you want to stay here?
Because it's our home.
Because this is our home. And everything we know. And just like you would fight for your country and your rights, right? We can fight for ours.
TikTok Live.
This country was built on the ability to dissent. And like when we lose the ability to publicly dissent, truly, this is no longer America.
Yeah, like you guys have guns, thinking that's why you have guns, so that you can dissent against your government. God forbid I use a fucking podcast.
So there's a difference in being proactive and defensive with guns.
Okay.
Well, sir, let me just tell you about 2A, because you clearly don't know what it was built on, right? The well-regulated militia was not defensive. It was slave patrols that wanted to catch runaway slaves and shoot them. So, what in the F are you talking about, sir?
You have sources for that?
You didn't know that 2A was about slave patrols? Yeah, it's called just Google it. I'm sorry you didn't know that, but that's the reality. It was slave patrols to catch runaway slaves.
Wow, the Democrats owned.
The conservatives. Fix that for you.
Yeah, the conservatives in the South, they've always been in the same place and been the same people.
Here you
But
go.
predominantly Democrat-owned slaves.
There you go. Yes, the Second Amendment was written to protect the slave system and slave patrols.
Boom!
Ratified in 1791.
The truth hurts. It burns.
What's in the search bar?
Was
It's almost
2A
like I
about
have a
slave
degree in
patrols.
history. It's almost like
You can
that's
look
what
up
I went to
anything.
university for
Look up
4
what is the
years
2A.
and learned.
Just type in the search bar, what is the Second Amendment?
It's just going to list the words of the Second Amendment.
Right. Not
So
what's the
again,
right
is tracking down people that were slaves that were trying to run for freedom, does that sound defensive or does that sound offensive?
What does it say in the Constitution? Look up Second Amendment.
Well-regulated militia.
And off the line of logic, sir. Stay with us. Stay with us.
Right. It says nothing about chasing down slaves.
I'm sorry that you don't know
You can put
history.
anything-
I can't save
put
you from that,
anything in
sir.
the
I
search
can't
bar
save
that you
you
wanna-
from your own ignorance.
Dude, I hear you guys collapse and fucking fold like origami when I show you guys data and facts, and you justify alternative facts by saying things like you can Google anything. All that data is made up. Oh, this is from a liberal website. All this shit. None of you guys have anything to the contrary. You just have silly things and quips you say.
Anything you want to hear, you put it in the search bar after what you're asking.
There you go. That's a great example. Thank you.
Right. Instead of just
what
searching.
you just said.
Case
Second
in point.
Amendment,
Thank you for literally
instead of
proving
pulling
his
up
point.
Second Amendment, where it says nothing about slave patrol.
Yes, on the face of the Second Amendment, it doesn't have the history and the context. You're correct. You have to look that up.
Yeah, I came on here to ask that.
And get
All
it.
right.
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
And it's just like, let me give an example of that. As somebody who went to university
We'll be
to
here all
learn
day.
history, it's not like Jim Crow laws said in the law when you look up the laws during Jim Crow, hey, we're trying to keep black people from voting. All these things that slaves had never been taught to do that would disqualify them from voting. Them from voting. Just realized that on our oh, there it goes. Now it unfroze. But yeah, because I have it up on an iPad so I can keep better my eyes on the chat. Yeah, it's back now.
I hate my internet. It's 2 hours in.
Yeah, where do you live? You were like in a weird internet spot in Dallas.
I don't want to. I'm about to move though on the 18th.
So excited. Are you staying in like what? Well, never mind. Let's not talk to you at this point.
I'm moving to a really cool spot. I'll tell you later.
I'm excited. I really need to visit my sister in Dallas. I mean, she's only been living there like 5 years.
My live just disconnected. Perfect. Oh. Why did I lose my stuff? I went through a really bad breakup, and instead of dealing with somebody who was trying to steal my dog, I blocked them and moved on with my life for mental health reasons.
That's the problem. This is why I'd never, ever date anyone. I'll just stay alone because if it ends, then it's just bad.
Yeah, I did get to keep my dog, and my new apartment will allow me to have they waived my pet fees because they saw a picture of my dog. They're like, that's where we want that dog here. So yeah. No, that's not really.
Actually, this, not to scare you, but like your breakup was actually quite civil compared to the ones I've been through.
Yeah.
Like yours actually, I was like, this is too bad. I mean, there was a good 3 or 4 days when I was like, what the F is going on? I think we all were, but.
I couldn't imagine being so insufferable that Pickles has to leave.
Someone said Medicaid funding system has officially been shut down.
I saw that there was a news there. New York Times just had a breaking news story.
Oh my God. Wow, this is really the mother effing apocalypse. Do you understand that's like disabled, very sick, people that can't like get groceries for themselves or like take care of themselves? Like when I almost died, I always say that like 4.5 years ago, like I was in a coma. Like that's what happens. Like you can't like walk and then you have to be on Medicaid because you can't take care of yourself. Like these are people who are defenseless and can't be okay and will not be okay.
Yellow. Guys, I've dropped the ball on pulling guests up. I'm sorry. All of my speed, all my internet issues and my sound issues killing me. Hello?
Hello.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
So I support Trump in so much as I would support anyone in that position. Did I necessarily want him to get in that position? Not really. But I actually did have more of a pointed question. I kind of wanted your opinion on it. It seems like ever since taking office, before taking office, Trump was really big on tariffing with China, right? And that was like his big talking point. But it seems like ever since taking office, he's almost flipped his script, and now he's emphasized more about tariffs on our ally countries, Mexico and Canada. Is that the new thing now? Are we no longer focusing on tariffing China, and that is now just an old talking point? Or, what is that about?
This is what Trump has done. He has convinced you guys with like few words that we are getting ripped off by China, and has made threats to tariff China, and they've since been like, hey, guess what? We'll just turn your goddamn economy off if you're going to mistreat us with tariffs. So they've banned things like critical metals that we need to build microchips and all that stuff. And Trump has settled with a 10% tariff on China, and it will be devastating to a lot of people here. But Trump has to make up for the tax cuts he's doing for his rich friends. So if we have no revenue, it kind of fucks everything up. So he's gutting the government, and so that his rich friends don't have to pay taxes. And then he's making up for it with tariffs that consumers like you and I have to pay. And it will fuck up our economy huge. It'll fuck up their economies too, Canada and Mexico. We are going to see some huge, horrible, what would you call it? Fallout.
Shockwaves.
Ramifications.
Roller coaster we can't get off.
It's absolutely horrific. I've been debating this same exact topic for 4 months, like 2 months before the election as well, and no one really understands what they voted for in regards to tariffs. As much as I tell me like a long-term benefit to this, a net positive in any way, and in fact, all the data shows that his last tariffs lost us jobs, lost us revenue, didn't even make up that much tax money. It didn't even come close to the tax cuts that he gave his rich friends. None of it's good. And all they can focus on is the stuff that Trump is throwing at the wall to distract us with, like the two genders, or, getting pictures taken in North Carolina saying he's fixing everything. And then on the other hand, he's going to be gutting FEMA, like everything antithetical to what you guys really want. He's doing that.
Yeah, I feel like the entire campaign was won on ideological differences as opposed to actual things that matter. And that was really kind of depressing. But that was really my only question. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I just had, I wanted to bring that up because it just seems like he was so gung-ho about, let's tariff China all the way. And then all of a sudden the script flipped, and now it's like Mexico and Canada. And it's like, where the hell did that come from? So I don't know. I appreciate your time, though.
Yeah, no problem.
Take care.
All right.
And also, I don't know if anyone saw the news. I mean, there's so much news. There's so much news to crash out about today. But one of the things Trump announced today is that there's going to be tariffs on microchips and he said the subsidies Trump gave these companies, we're building microchip manufacturing places, particularly where I am in Arizona, is one of the places we're building these plants to manufacture our microchips. He says that they should cancel those subsidies, and he will force companies to manufacture microchips in the United States, which economists completely disagree with, by the way, by just tariffing microchips coming from outside the United States. So if you need a computer or anything involving a microchip, I would buy it today.
Don't worry. Domestically, we'll be building the chips that we're buying from China in 10 years. Just wait. Just wait. They'll be here someday.
And understand how that benefits China, too, because our microchips are coming from Taiwan, and China wants to take over Taiwan. So all we're doing, basically, is ruining our microchip factory, which is Taiwan, isolating them, cutting off their resources so China can absorb them. And then we are, again, going to pay tariffs if we want products that have microchips coming from outside the country.
Yeah, and not to mention, this is going to be...
Which is everything, pretty much.
It's fucking up our GDP. It's fucking up the health of our economy. So it's going to slow down even more our race in technology. Like, in every single conceivable way, we're going to be suffering. But Trump, he won this election with the word tariff. So he's going to be doing it. He's going to be doing it. He found out real fast he couldn't do it all on China, just like that last guest said. So he's hitting Mexico and Canada.
Oh, he got real scared. Xi Jinping's like, try it, bitch. Like, yeah. And furthermore, we just got outpaced. We got just ran circles around in AI. Like, did you see NVIDIA's stock ran 60, the aftermarket trading is at 5 p.m. yesterday? It had run 16.9%, 97%. Like, we basically have just been invalidated in the AI space. I read the research paper on DeepSeek. Have you read? You need to read that.
I've read some of the bullet points. Like, they made it.
That's a 40-year-old.
It's a $5.3 million, and we've spent billions trying to do it.
It's a 40-year-old man. Like, and he wasn't getting Chinese funding. Like, he was pretty much unknown. He's a quants trader. Of course, he's a quants trader. He has a quants hedge fund, but he originally went to school for engineering, and he just made DeepSeek. I mean, he's processing more information like thousands of times faster with less energy and fewer chips.
Yep. Older chips. NVIDIA chips.
Great job, Trump. But Stargate, don't worry. Trump says it could run on clean coal.
Ugh.
If you don't know, look up the research paper on DeepSeek. DeepSeek became the most downloaded chatbot in the Apple Store this weekend. China, and that's why the the AI stocks are crashing in the United States. Download it. Works great.
Pickles, are you missing Biden? Yeah. In about 3 days, you guys will be missing Biden. I promise you. In about 3 days. You remember how quiet it was? Remember our economy was like doing this? It was inching up. In 4 days, boom. Trump's about to fuck our economy sideways.
That's why Trump says he's going to tariff chips from coming outside the country, because he doesn't know what to do because of DeepSeek, because of the stocks, because basically everyone's just like, why would we invest with America? We have a crazy orange man threatening everyone, and they have better technology in China. There's something to be said for diplomacy at this point. Understand, when Trump threatens countries, all they're saying is we're going to diversify our trading partners. What that means is we're going to China. See you guys later.
Yellow?
What's up, guys?
It's cracking.
I am so stressed and disgusted with everything going on in the world right now, dude. I'm so scared.
I agree. Is there anything you wanted to say really quick?
I just wanted to say, what is it going to take for, like, what is it going to take to happen to us for all the MAGA supporters to be like, okay, this is kind of bad? Because interestingly enough, I have obviously posted a lot of political shit on my Facebook at this point, and everybody has had something to say about everything until Trump took away federal aid today. And nobody has had shit to say, because it's not a problem until it directly affects them. Like, what is it going to take? I saw a video that a girl posted earlier of her talking about, Trump plunging us into all this chaos so that he can potentially declare martial law, which is going to give him way more power than he should not have as it is. And that's terrifying.
Bro's golfing today.
Yeah, I heard that too. What the fuck?
Don't worry, guys. The Congress is meeting at Trump's resort in Doral, right? They're all paying. Our tax dollars are paying Trump's Doral resort, so Congress can all gather there and talk about how to torment all of us.
The one thing I guess I will say is there's not a lot that we can do at the moment. It's kind of a waiting game. But what I did yesterday, keeping an eye on your state's potential bills that are going to be passed, call your House of Representatives. They will pass on the message, call them, and put in all types of, complaints, stuff you're not okay with. And they will pass that because they're required to pass that information. So I called and told them some stuff I was not okay with, and trying to at least get involved a little bit. But yeah, I feel for everybody, man.
Yeah, well, I'm going to move on to a debate, but I appreciate you coming up, Kaylin.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize that's what that was, but thanks for letting me talk. I appreciate it.
You're good. Alrighty, bye. Yellow?
Hello.
Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
I am kind of, I guess you could say, in between.
Okay.
I like a lot of what Trump is implementing and his policies.
Like what?
Are you only looking for ops? Because I probably would not be that, and you would probably want to move on.
Yeah, we are looking for only debates right now.
That's okay. I'll get off. Or can you?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Pick me up. Okay.
Name checks out. Name checks out. Yellow? Oh, Meepo. God damn it, Meepo. Hello?
Hey guys, it's not actually a debate, but I'm trying to find information on whether or not Medicaid funding is going to be, and I'm wondering if you guys have heard anything of specifically looking it up, because that is how my job is funded, working with at-risk youth. And I'm just wondering, have you heard anything?
You know exactly what you know. That it's been paused.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have too much
Right.
more.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out where I'm at, if we're going to have funding to continue working with kids that really, really need help. So, it's awesome. Anyway, okay, thanks.
Alrighty, thank you.
Bye.
Someone says that anything directly paid to citizens won't get frozen. That was some loose wording. What does that exactly mean? Does that mean directly from the federal government to hands of the citizens, or does it have to trickle through a department and those things are protected too? We don't know. Doesn't ultimately everything go directly to the hands of citizens? I don't know anything anymore either. I feel stupid.
I don't know. Kudri, I saw you say he's cutting SNAP. I'm just saying this article is from 2 hours ago from Reuters. I don't know. It says nutrition programs unaffected by Trump funding freeze. But again, I don't know. They're just quoting the Office of Management, the White House's Office Management and Budget said in a memo. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just telling you. I think that's what Reuters is saying.
The collateral damage of this might actually make that happen anyway. Wouldn't it?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying if they're going to freeze direct funding, they're freezing medical care to people. We're talking about people who are defenseless, who can't get their medications. So I'm saying somebody, I don't know.
Proletariat knows.
Hey, yeah, I know. That's why I came up here, because I want to actually help people calm down a bit, breathe a bit, because you all know I work for Department of Health and Human Services. I would find out this information before all y'all did. I've received no notice of SNAP ending, of Medicaid ending. I believe my theory on why people are having access with the front-end system is because this executive order was very vague. People rushed the system, but I've been adding people to Medicaid and Medicare all day. The system's up on the back end. There's no notice about TANF, HUD, any of the specific programs I work with. So TANF, TANF, SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, HUD. These programs haven't been affected. I have received no notice that they're ending. So I would breathe a little bit on those. For other programs like FAFSA, I don't know honestly. But you should still expect to see your SNAP and stuff continue. There's been nothing on our end that says we're ending these programs. Yes, WIC. WIC is also not affected. We work with WIC as well. I haven't seen anything about WIC stopping.
Awesome, that's good.
I've been rolling these TikTok streets for the last like 3 hours, along with fielding. Literally, I'm at 21 calls at this point in the day because of this vague executive order, just trying to help people breathe a little bit. Because, like, again, I would find out before even the news found out. I'd have gotten an internal email saying, "Hey, Snap's ending at X time. Be aware if you receive calls." I've received nothing. I assure you all, if I get any of those emails, I don't care. You will see me post it in every Discord, including Pickles, the moment I find out.
That's what I said. Snap's not ending. I just read that from an article. So I agree. And I'll just give an example, because like I did see someone say in the chat, like, but nonprofits like and NGOs are losing funding. And I'll give an example in Arizona.
That's true, Felice.
Yeah, no, I'll give an example in Arizona, because if you're on Medicaid, like this is an example of how that will affect Medicaid people, even if Medicaid doesn't go down. In Arizona, no mental health doctors will take Medicaid patients. There's virtually no one. So what they do is there are nonprofits that are funded, state nonprofits that are funded, that have doctors working for them, that give mental health services and medication, and those will be defunded.
And I have received a notification from food banks in my area that rely on federal grants to stock their pantries that they're going to be dealing with food scarcity until this is resolved, because a lot of people use food banks to supplement their limited SNAP.
Okay, again, there's a difference between Medicaid portals being down and like the system working on the back end. That's what he's saying. Those are two different things.
I'm saying I can still.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I just processed the Medicaid case right now.
No, I know. Well, I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing for you. People are saying in the chat, the governor of New Mexico just did a press conference saying the Medicaid portals are down, and I'm explaining that's different. The Medicaid portals being down are different than the back end system, and that's what he's explaining.
I genuinely believe it's because most of our government systems are held together by chewing gum and hope. When I worked for the Department of Labor, unemployment nationally ran on a system from 1982. So when like nebulous executive orders get put out, everybody rushes to the system to try and get an answer, and it just crashes. It just crashes. Happens all the time.
I understand. I used to work in the tech industry. I agree with. I understand what you're. I understand the difference. I understand what you're saying. I get it. So I think like truly nobody have a stroke. Like this is horrific. It's not a surprise. You know, we knew this was coming, and I feel everyone's pain in more ways than you'll ever know, but we just have to wait for answers. Like unless, none of us, I think the reason everyone's upset is because, we have zero control and we're just watching like the infrastructure of our country be imploded, and that is a very disturbing. It's like a slow motion train wreck you can't turn away from. But hey, this is great for the midterms. Everyone just think 2026.
I just pulled up the DHHS portal, my side of things, where they would put like these releases out to us if something were to be affected. I can confidently say, as of 4:06 Eastern Standard Time, I have no notices saying any of these programs are going anywhere. At least not the ones I mentioned. Again, this only refers to the previously mentioned programs.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I will continually, this is why all of you that are watching Pickles right now should join his Discord, because I will post any updates I have in Pickles Discord and every other Discord I'm in. I will be your canary in the coal mine for things related to the Department of Health and Human Services.
Join my Discord. There's a link in my bio, and I followed you. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for the information in this time of uncertainty.
There's a reason that I deleted my old accounts and I made this one. This one, unlike my old ones, attached to nothing personally attached to me. So this allows me to loophole. I'm not even loopholing the Hatch Act. I'm actively defying the Hatch Act for good purposes, and that's why I made an account not attached to me at all.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, get to debates. Yell at people. You need to entertain me for the next hour I'm at work, so I need you to be yelling at people.
All right, sounds good. I don't know how much longer I'll be on. I do want to get to my Mamacita's house before rush hour. So I'll probably do one more debate if we get one more debate. Guys, don't forget to follow the stream if you enjoy the content. Follow Felice if you want to become smarter. If you want your
Hey there.
brain. Hello.
Hi, I'm not opposition, so I can pop off if you don't want to talk to me.
That's okay. Do you got something to say real quick?
Yeah, so I'm in California and I work for a company that provides mental health services and support for families, for adoptive families. We're kind of last resort before children go to residential. And in California, we're kind of put on a watch kind of list of essentially we might not be funded after this whole thing goes down. So we're kind of not being able to provide our families with resources right now because we're not sure how much funding we're going to get after this. So it's extremely frustrating and it's really sad for us because we have a lot of families that are just, their hands are tied. They don't know what to do with their children. And we're essentially having to tell them we're just going to have to sit and wait and we don't know what's going to happen.
But Republicans are pro-life. I'm so confused by this news. Republicans love women and children.
Pro-life until breathing air.
Don't ask us for shit. Like this is, and then imagine, can I just remind us all of Max that we had to listen to for an hour while we were debating him say, but Republicans, but they don't, remember when we were trying to explain to Max that Republicans don't give a shit about American citizens? Hopefully he's reading that executive order about the Muslim ban right now, so he won't hear this, but this is what we were talking about, Max.
And additionally, they talk about being pro-choice, or not pro-choice, but they talk about not providing access to abortion and care. But I work for an agency that provides services for adoptive families, but they're revoking stuff for adoptive families. So they're just, it's all about control. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for your time. But just wanted to kind of let you guys know what's going on over here.
And Trump wants to force every women to give birth. And don't worry, this is the system you'll end up in. What could go wrong with giving your child up for adoption? This is their future.
Yep, we're the last resort for these adoptive families too, and so it's incredibly sad that we're having to turn them away, and a lot of these kids are having really bad behavior issues that we're trying to help them through, and they're going out into the world and not getting those resources. So it's really sad, it's really scary, and I just hoping for the best, but kind of expecting the worst at this point.
That's smart.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel and vote in the midterms. I don't know what else to say.
Followed you, Sam. It's almost like every day is worse than the last in Trump's America.
This really grinds my gears. Like,
what?
That, oh shit, I just kicked Felice. In fact, he's in the box again, but he's like, don't send $40 billion to Ukraine because we need to help Americans first. And here we are in the biggest mess I can think of in recent history, not giving help to Americans because of Trump. It has nothing to do with foreign aid. It's just Trump doing crazy
Max
shit.
is in the box to repeat the same things. Oh, good Lord.
God. What's up? What's up, chat? Chat, tap the screen. I'm gonna be on here for maybe. Honestly, I should probably just head out.
Just
Guys,
do it. Like, I think we're at a lull anyways. Just do go. Don't miss. I hate rush hour traffic in big cities. So you go have yourself a night on the town, and I'll just go curl into a ball and take some anxiety medication, and text me tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you. Love you, Felice.
Thank you, guys. I missed you guys. Thank you, Pickles. You are the best community. Thanks for having me.
I know.
Let's not make it so long before we do this again.
Yeah.
Later, Gators. Oh yeah, and tomorrow I'll be doing the People's Receipts at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. So see you guys then. Have a great day. Stay safe, guys, and sane.
Alrighty, bye. I'm gonna raid somebody. Chat. Let's raid.